Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to Critical Beauty. Tonight, another interesting and exciting discussion on Miss World. This time, we are going to talk about the Miss World finals that took place in Mumbai, India, just March 9th. And I'm sure a lot of people watched the show. We all have I think most of us loved the production because it was really, really grand and majestic. So, if you watch the pageant and if you'd like to share your thoughts and comments, please feel free to write down your comments in the mailbox in the chat box below, and we're going to read them to the rest of the world. So, we're just waiting for our guests tonight. I have Lenka Vomocil, Mrs. National Universe 2022, who is from the Czech Republic. And I'm sure she is very, very ecstatic about Czech Republic winning Miss World. And we also have pageant Empress, George from the pageant Empress. And at the very last minute, Ed Dominguez decided to join us. So we're just waiting for all three of them to log in. Reading the reading. Oh, Naveed, our good friend from India. Hi, Naveed. Did you watch the pageant? I think you did, right? Yeah, I guess. Did you like it? Let me know. Carmila. Hi, Carmila. How's everybody? Now, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe if you haven't done so, and click the bell icon below to get notification for the next video. Please help this channel grow. All right, for Ed. And he's in. Hey, Ed.
Hey, how are you? How's everything?
You're invisible.
I see that. Yeah, the background. Yes.
You like?
Yes. It makes a point.
I had to redo the background because originally I had Julia together with Krystyna. You know that famous scene where Julia's face is too close and with the caption, "You've always been my favorite, dear." And then when you sent me this meme, okay, but oh, yeah, that's amazing, that's perfect. Because everybody's talking about Megan Young and Botswana, you know.
But actually, I think this was big of Botswana because I was afraid she wasn't going to say anything.
But
But
she did say
at least
something,
she
correct?
is
Yeah,
stopping it. Yes, I know.
yeah, which is great because I mean, like who would have known? I mean, nobody would have known unless you're, African or if you're a black person. But I didn't know that it was something cultural. It was taboo, I guess for a non-black person to touch the hair of a black person. I've never heard of that, and I've been living in the United States most of my life. I've never heard of it, not from my black friends, at least.
Yeah, actually, when I saw it, for me it was awkward because at least I would have said something. But I was like, okay, moving on. But then everybody like caught on the moment.
Yeah.
So it was kind of, yeah, it was awkward for me.
Well, I think for Megan it was a learning experience because I mean seriously, nobody would have known anyway, correct? And then and then but well, actually let's Lenka's trying to get in. All right. So I wanted her point of view as well. Yeah, so okay. I just asked Naveed, my friend from India, if you watched the shows. Yes, I did watch, but my friends who are not passionate people started laughing, stating that they made it like an award function. But I literally loved it because it wasn't boring like any other year. I agree. And our good friend Brian Javier is watching. Hey, Brian, are you getting ready for your pageant? You must be really very nervous, right? Yeah. You know what? Don't be, because you have 10 amazing, beautiful contestants. And it's going to be an amazing show. March 15th is Miss Grand United States, Virgin
Sorry, Mark.
Islands. And we have Lenka. Could you think why is are you using an iPhone?
Yes.
Can you do it like a horizontal landscape? Because I see
Yeah,
a
you
lot
can
of her. Yeah. Girl, you should know by
better.
now. Much better. Much better. I
Do
can
you
still
hear
see your
the
ceiling
sound?
though. I love it. I feel like you're looking down at us.
Better.
Okay. Slightly better. Ooh, where are you? You look like you're in some office or some like sports. What are all these sports stuff?
Yes. I am in my boyfriend's gym, Elite Fight Club in Bangkok.
Oh, okay. Okay. So,
Actually, if you look down, you can see the ring and bunch of guys fighting right now.
ooh, are they naked?
Pretty much, yeah, because they only wear shorts, so you can see the whole body and sweating. It's pretty hot.
Oh, that's funny. Well, look at, did you have a good night's sleep?
Yes, finally. Oh my God, I was awake for 3 days. I was just done, but it was so worth it. I mean, I was awake for the right reasons, right? I could not sleep because of all my excitement and happiness. And I'm still kind of like pinching myself. I mean, I believed in Krystyna so much, and I had all week long this good gut feeling that it's gonna happen. And I have a lucky number 13. And every time I see number 13 everywhere I look, something great happens. And that week I saw number 13 everywhere. I was taking pictures and I was sending it in a group chat of the girls who are kind of like working together to help Kristy, which I wanted to say hi to Czech Queens, Eliška and Sarah. I wanted to say hi to Linel in Philippines and JB in Philippines, because those guys were part of Krystyna's journey and helped her so much and did so much. So guys, I love you. You did amazing job. But yeah, I was sending them the pictures. Like, look, I just saw number 13 here. This taxi driver number 13, this number 13. And they were like, oh my God, it's crazy. And then I said, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. And then it did. But it's still so surreal.
Yeah. Now, speaking of the number 13, I know number 13 is considered an unlucky number in some cultures. Is there a 13th floor in Thailand buildings? In Asian
Actually,
buildings?
13, not all of the buildings, but some buildings literally like block 13 floors. I know we used to live in Prompong, and there was this building which 13th floor, the elevator didn't even stop there.
Oh wow. Oh wow. That is so weird. Because I think we can tie that in with the superstitious belief. As you know, what happened between Megan Young
Yes.
and Miss Botswana. I was just telling, Ed and I were just discussing before you came in that who knew? Nobody would have known. Would you have known that touching Black people's hair is considered rude?
But there is like two problems though. Yes, I know because I live in America, and I know in America the girls are very particular about their hair because they put so much care in it. And like, I think it's more because white people always are like, "Ooh, I like your afro. Ooh, I like this," and they want to touch it. And it's just like they do it so much that after a while it becomes inappropriate. But in this case, it wasn't about that. The fans are literally claiming that Megan is using witchcraft to touch her hair, to cast a bad spell on her, to like lose it. So I was like, okay, guys, this just reached a new level of crazy.
Well, you know what?
Ridiculous.
If Megan is a witch, she's one of the most beautiful witches I've seen. Okay.
I guess she won also because she was a witch, right?
Exactly. It's
Ridiculous.
just yeah. But yeah, I think it's a learning experience for Megan. Now she knows, and of course she released an apology. Because
She shouldn't though.
well, you know what? If she had not been a beauty queen, then probably she would not felt necessary to apologize. Maybe she just, oh well, I didn't know, I was ignorant of it, nobody told me about it. But apologizing for something that you really didn't know anything about it, that you didn't do anything on
Yeah.
purpose. So it's silly.
Yeah.
And also I saw a close-up of Botswana's photo of her head. There was like a strand of hair like touching on her forehead. And I think that's what Megan tried to fix. She tried to fix it.
Correct.
So that was real hair. But was Botswana wearing a wig? Was she wearing a wig?
I do not know. Not
People
sure.
from
I
Botswana
don't want
watching
to
the
speculate.
show, Botswana's hairstylist, please let us know if she was wearing a wig. Because it looked like a wig to me.
I mean,
people watching, do you think it was a wig?
it could be weaves, maybe. Not sure. I don't want to speculate on that. Then we're gonna get into trouble too.
Right.
But you know what I have to say? I don't know if you mentioned it before. I want to say to the fans of Botswana and also Lebanon, like, you guys, I see so much trash talking towards Megan, towards Krystyna, towards Miss World Organization. And I want to say something. If you're a true fan of pageantry, you would never ever lower yourself to do such a horrible things, because pageantry should be about lifting each other up. I mean, about empowerment of women. They should be all happy for each other, you know what I mean? And then trash talking someone, and it's so against all pageantry. So you are not a true fans, and you are literally casting a shadow over your contestants' success. Because now people are looking at Botswana and they're like, oh, she did such an amazing job. But a lot of people are looking at your comments and it's hurting her. So if you love your contestant, instead of talking trash about other people, go to her Instagram, give her love, tell her you love her, but do not spread hate. It's ugly and it's unnecessary. Thank you. Sorry.
Preach, girl.
I just get mad. I just get mad when people do this because it's just so wrong, you know.
All right, Richard is saying, it's a woman to woman touching of hair. How sensitive. I understand the cultural aspect, but then I remember it's a wig also. Helga says, I knew they would make a big issue. Getting offended doesn't always make us right. Helga says, Botswana fans are so ruthless. They are attacking Indian judges and calling them racist for allowing a blonde girl to win over their girl. Okay, just because a blonde girl,
complaining about a blonde girl winning is also racism. So, there's a lot of reverse racism going on in these comments. And they are talking because I guess they follow the pageant for the first time. They're unfamiliar with the other queens. They don't know that Tony Ann was a queen only about 5 years ago, 4 years ago. And
2019, yeah.
And they say that, oh, always the same mold. Do you know how long it took for a blonde girl like Carolina to win? And always the same mold, always with the same blonde white girl. Like, this is not that pageant. So,
See, the people,
I understand that. I understand their heart. Their heart, they're taking it personally. But I don't know. I like Lenka said, the reaction is very uncalled for, especially from them. Like you would think, for example, personally, I have not seen any bad reaction from the Lebanese. Personally, what I have read, everybody's congratulating Yasmina, who did an amazing job. I haven't read any sour comments from them yet, if there are any. But from the other side, it's like really, really hostile what is going on, because it's going through her and the organization. And it's unfortunate that the girls, for example, a girl like Krystyna has to go through that, because we have been in this for years. We know how to deal with haters and everything, but these girls, they don't know how to do that. And I guess that's why Megan apologized, because I guess this is one of the first times Megan got real hate in her social media and she didn't know what to do.
I think she got scared. It must hurt her. But I also want to say to the people who are like, oh, again, blonde, blah, blah, blah. I actually commend Miss World for this, because other competitions will be like, well, we had a European blonde, so now we have to crown someone from Asia or from Africa or from Latin America. So even if a girl is 100% the best and she gets the most vote, they are just not going to crown her because, oh my God, last time was a blonde too. So sorry, we're just going to give it to the second place or third place so people will not attack us. I think it's absolutely incredible, because Miss World doesn't care about how many followers you have, if you come from a big country, if you have a big sash factor, if if a winner before was blonde or anything. They literally only focus on the outside beauty, inside beauty, about your work, and they crown the best girl. India won 97, 99, 2000. So that wasn't racist either, right? So excuse me, but it's actually the right thing to do to crown the best girl, no matter where she comes from.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I think there's a fine line between like labeling something as racist unless being a favorite. Like sometimes I wonder about like 1999 and 2000 India back-to-back wins. I actually questioned 1999. I didn't think that Indian girl who won in 1999 was the best. She was elegant and tall, but she wasn't definitely the best. But again, it's favoritism. Maybe Julia favored her over the others. So that's why. And maybe there's political connections between, going on in the background. Every pageant has some sort of political, ramification anyway. So George of the pageant Empress is trying to get in. Should we admit him? He has a lot of information.
Rafa, you know, if there is a pageant among all beauty pageants that recognizes African beauty, talent, and hard work, is Miss World. I
Yeah.
have witnessed this for decades, like all the time. Like they give them the space. The head-to-head was dominated by African beauties. The Beauty with a Purpose finalists were dominated by African beauties. I mean, unlike other pageants that
Oh,
they
look at
just
that.
look the other way.
Mhm. Hi, Jordan.
He's wearing the
Right.
sash.
I have
We have
the sash.
we have the
Someone said that the sash
sash.
was hopeless. Ah, yeah, Sally said the sash was hopeless.
I love Pageant Empress. I love your sash. Ooh, nice.
No,
Wonderful.
because the
Oh,
sash
welcome.
behind, I feel like she deserves a better sash, don't you think? It's too big. The
Yeah,
Miss World sash.
Her sash
was
was
the
only
awkward.
thing,
Her sash was awkwardly put on her. I think that
Yeah.
chain got stuck in her cape or something.
Yeah.
And then
She got bit.
it was really awkward. I think our good friend Sally Ann was noticed that, and she was like, making fun of it. Like,
yeah,
well, I'm glad all three of you have made the chat tonight. I was, I have so much to say about this pageant, and I
Yeah.
made a list of all the stuff, the topics based on what we saw on TV and whatnot. So actually, I want to start with the opening number. Okay. As you know, the production of the show was produced by Endemol India. Endemol is a huge billion-dollar company, and they have a lot of holdings, entertainment, beauty products, clothing lines, stores, whatever, you name it, they have it. So it's a billion-dollar industry. And if you guys have seen Miss France national pageant, that is produced by Endemol. Okay.
oh really?
And you compare Miss France with the production that we saw last night, a lot of similarities in terms of grandeur, majesty, pageantry. Because the theater was designed to accommodate over 110 girls, basically, and
Yeah.
all the dancers as well, the musicians. So it was huge. Now, so the opening number started, with a group of dancers dancing to Indian music. And 98.9% of the whole show was Indian based, was based on culture, Indian art, Indian fashion, Indian society and whatnot. So I thought, to me, that was amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Love it.
right. So, but however, there was certain Indian stuff that I would have preferred to see, because I'm a big fan of Indian movies. I love Bollywood, and I listen to Indian music. I have like a dozen collection of Indian CDs that I listen to, and I love Ranveer Singh. If you don't know who Ranveer Singh is, okay, you don't exist. Okay, Indian people would know who Ranveer Singh is. Big mega star, married to another big major star, Deepika. Deepika. I forgot her last name.
Mhm.
But anyway, they got married, and I think
Okay.
they're having a baby right now. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, so that I think one of the best things about this production. So what do you guys think of the open number? Do you like the dancers, the music and whatnot? Wouldn't you agree? It set the tone for the rest of
Yeah.
the show. Now,
Yeah, I
after
love it.
that, after that, you see the girls, what they call the Parade of Nations, wearing all the costumes, coming out of the stage one by one. And I think I'm
Yeah.
trying to remember the format of the stage was that. So you have all the judges sitting in a semicircle
That was
area,
amazing.
elevated platform, and they're facing the end of the ramp where the girls, were walking towards to. And then on each side, if you're watching from the common general section, in other words, the peasants area, okay, the poor people area, you can see two sides, both sides decorated with flags, and the elevated benches. And I think, I don't know, the way, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a United Nations thing with all the flags and all the girls, having their own places and whatnot. So they were like standing behind their flags and stuff. I don't know if I like that. I mean, do you guys like that idea? That
That's
It
not the
reminded me
first
of
time
like,
I did it.
was
Huh?
it 2018 when Vanessa won?
Yeah.
Did they not?
Was it the same thing?
Yeah, I saw it
Well,
before. I do
Okay.
not recall which year, but that was done before. And I kind of like it because it makes the girls to be still included, even though they already got eliminated. I think it's actually like very nice.
Right. Okay. All right. So I thought, they were trying to incorporate all the United Nations type of, but plus everything was based on G20 anyway, G20, right?
Mhm.
So everybody's getting into that. Miss Earth is into GTO, sustainability, Miss International, Miss World, Miss Universe to a certain extent. I'm not so sure about Supra or Grand. Definitely not Grand. Grand doesn't care about G2O or sustainability anyway. They're all about plastic. No, I'm just kidding. Deepika Padukone. Thank you. Padukone is her last name. Look her up. Deepika Padukone. She's amazing. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, David. I think she once competed for feminine Miss India, I believe, but she didn't. I think, but look her up. Deepika Padukone. She's gorgeous, and her husband Ranveer. Anyway, so yeah, I thought the Parade of Nations wearing costumes was amazing. This segment was followed by the introduction of the co-hosts. Okay, Joe or Karan Johar and Megan Young. Interesting fun fact about Karan Johar. Karan is supposed to be gay. Okay.
I thought you were gonna say something else.
But in India, if you're a homosexual, it carries a lot of taboo because Indian culture is supposed to be conservative, still traditionalist and whatnot. And he supposedly actually he has 2 children through surrogacy.
Oh.
What that means is that he paid millions of dollars, millions of rupees or whatever to some Indian woman, to give birth using his own sperm, whatnot. So voila, he has 2 kids. So just like Ricky Martin, remember?
Yeah.
Right? Ricky Martin?
Yeah, kids.
So yeah, so that's the case of Keijo. And of course, Megan Young, who was Miss World 2013, the first Miss World from the Philippines, looking gorgeous in that stunning red dress, red number with ruffles and low cut, cleavage and whatnot. I thought that was great. Now, did you know what?
I don't think they had any chemistry though. I felt like they were just 2 different hosts put together, but it felt so forceful. Like I felt like they had zero chemistry. Like I would have just rather seen just Megan and maybe a different host. Because in the previous years when Megan was the host, right? I think they had better chemistry with the previous male host than Karan Johar. I felt like there was something lacking. I felt like maybe they didn't do rehearsal enough because when they were talking to each other, it felt like Megan was saying her own script and trying so hard to get the energy and get the attention of the room. But it felt like Karan was trying to take up the space, but it felt like he was not connecting with the female host. I don't know if it was just me.
I think they were reading from a teleprompter. You can tell.
It looked like that.
Yeah, because everything was smooth. I mean, I like Karan. I think he's a professional host. He has his own talk show host. So, Lenka, darling, what do you think?
Yeah, that is actually I like it, and I love his outfit. That the shiny part of him.
Thing.
Yeah, that was
it's
great,
very Liberace.
Yeah, but the funny fact is that he was a judge in 2006 in Poland when Tatiana Kucharova won. And then he wasn't part of Miss World. And this is the first time he came back as the host. And then Krystyna won.
Lucky
and
charm.
I remember someone told me before the finale. And there was a post actually which said, he was a judge 2006 when Czech Republic won. And they asked, will he be a lucky charm for Czech Republic again? And he was. So thank you. Thank you for bringing a luck for us.
All right. Who knows? Maybe he'll judge next year, the next edition, and Czech Republic will win again. You never know. All right. Naveed is saying, okay, Deepika, she was a back dancer and spotted by a choreographer and director. That's how she got her first movie. Also, her father was a former tennis player. Okay, thank you, Naveed. All right. No. The top 40 announcement was really messy. Okay, we're going to talk about that later. Oh my God, why did they give Megan Young just one dress for the entire night? Was she wearing only one dress?
Yep.
Oh yeah, she had that one, the red one behind you.
During the entire night? Well, Karan also was wearing one outfit, right? He didn't change.
Yeah,
he was wearing the same outfit.
Like, I can see different fashion.
I thought I didn't even notice that. Oh my God, that's so cheap. You can afford it. Oh, I felt bad for the 2 of them. Oh my God. Anyway, so I noticed too that, of course, towards closer to the stage, you see all these invited guests who probably paid thousands of money and stuff and everything to sit around the table. But did you guys notice they had plates on the table, but the plates were empty? Nobody was eating. What's up with that? Like all the plates were clean. No food, no nothing. I did not even see any wine like glasses or something. They were just sitting around the table and watching the show. That's about it.
Oh.
You know,
Maybe they didn't want them to chew what if the camera goes straight up on their face.
probably. Okay, so
Was I the only one who felt like I had an issue with the camera? I'll be honest here, which I know we're gonna talk about it in the Q&A as well. When the girls were speaking, the camera keep panning towards the judges and like towards the audience. I thought it was quite unnecessary. Like I would have really liked to see the contestants speak throughout. Because when I was editing the girls' videos, especially Krystyna, like the winners, she was saying such heartfelt message. She was just conveying the message so well about her beautiful purpose, but the camera keep focusing on some, I think a judge. It was a guy, it was an Indian guy. I thought that is so distracting. Can you at least focus on the contestant? So the camera work I think could have been better. We have seen better in Miss World. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I mean there were some bizarre camera angles and whatnot and everything, but for the most part, I think it was handled very, very well. Now, as you know, you could hear all along during the entire show, you could hear Stephen Douglas as the voiceover. He would make all the announcements and stuff and everything. So, you know, it's a staple of the show. This was followed by the introduction of the contestants from the Americas and the Caribbean. Now, can we talk about that? Okay. Can we talk about that? Okay, I think Uruguay was the only one who blew kisses to the crowd. I don't know if you guys noticed this. We're like, and then she mouthed, thank you. Okay, to me, that was an automatic elimination. Okay, you don't do that. You don't do blow kisses. That. Like, what's up with that?
Unless you win.
Out.
Unless you win.
Bye, girl.
After you get the crown, you can do that, like Krystyna did. Yeah.
Yeah. Some girls were walking faster than the others. Some girls were walking slowly than the others. And I think there was also like when Steve Douglas was announcing, you know, the name of the contestant, I think some contestants got more airtime, like at least like 2 seconds more airtime than the others. Again, I think the pacing was not properly choreographed by that woman, Donna Walsh. Yeah, Donna Walsh, you're the official Miss World choreographer. You should know better. Okay, next time. Girl. All right, so from the Americas and the Caribbean. Okay, do you remember which gowns did you like during the Parade of Nations from the Americas? No, nothing.
Mostly the ones who got in the final. Yeah, there was so many.
One thing I noticed about the gowns were like
there were several very interesting, beautiful gowns, I thought.
yeah, like there were a lot of blue gowns. Was it just me? Like blue and like aqua green colors. Like it was very similar. It felt like a collection. A lot of the similar color palette in the evening gowns, which I liked. That it was really nice. Yeah.
Okay, good. Matthew says, I hate the camera work for the crowning. Why did they pan to Miss Czech Republic to slow down and kill the excitement? Yeah, that's true. Okay, now from the Americas and the Caribbean, next continent was Africa. I have never, okay, this continent, I noticed there were like at least 3 girls who slipped and one almost fell. It's Kenya.
Yes.
Kenya slipped.
Kenya.
Sierra Leone slightly slipped. Togo slipped really hard and she almost fell. She lost her balance. She had to regain a composure. So like, what's up with Africa? Okay. Like, did you, I mean, what?
I think it happened more than like once. I think it happened when they were announcing the top 40 as well. Yeah, I think it happened twice.
Okay. I'm sorry, but Tunisia reminds me of Shree Saini. Okay, I know, Ed, you disagree, but every time I see Tunisia's face, she reminds me of Shree Saini, Miss World America 2022, whose family bought the first princess position for their daughter. And they also bought the franchise for Miss World America. Okay. So yeah, it's like, my God, she could be Shree Saini's sister. Okay. Anyway, so what do you think of the contestants from Africa? I thought, except for the slips and the near falls, I thought it was a great group. I liked Zimbabwe. I thought she was so cute. Yeah.
Yep.
Followed by the contestants from Europe. Okay. One thing I noticed when Czech Republic came out with that, was it a Garlot design gown? Garlot gown?
GL Garlot.
GL Garlot.
GL Garlot. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So do you think that cape was necessary?
I do because if you notice the dress underneath is a little bit cut out and stuff. So I think the cape keeps it looking more regal, more covered up, because it otherwise I think it will be too kind of naked for the Miss World. But I like it. I know some people didn't like it. I like the cape. I think it made it more regal because it's like a queen. Queen has like a cape like that when she gets
Yes.
crowned, right? Queen Elizabeth. So
Okay.
I loved it. I
You
thought it
loved
was
it?
really good because, like you said, if he was just without the cape, I thought it would be a little bit too sexy for Miss World. But I think it added a really regal and elegance to it, and she looks like a princess. Just look at behind me. I think it just touches of elegance, sophistication, and I think it really suits the Miss World theme.
Yeah.
So I think it was a good touch. Yeah.
the one thing you cannot really see on the bottom, there's like a strings of like light blue when you see the dress close
Oh,
up. It's
okay.
really
This
nice.
is
It
the
was
bottom.
about, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I can send you later the picture, the close up of the dress. It's really pretty.
All right.
Beautiful.
Ed.
Rafa, you ask if the cape was necessary. There are 112 girls. If she who could come out in a hoverboard, she should. You see,
Yeah.
like you need to make yourself noticeable. And I'm gonna tell you something. I've been a judge in hundreds of pageants. They always give you about 2 seconds to see the girls. And when she came out with that cape and that gown, for me, game over. Like when I
Yes.
saw her, I was like, she's gonna win. Game over. I mean, game
Yeah.
over. So I really love that gown. I really love how she looked. And I want to add that I really love this segment because this is how the Miss World contestants used to be introduced by the end of the 90s and the early 2000s. I mean, before the
Mhm.
2003 pageant in China, the girls paraded in their evening gowns and you could see all of them and kind of make yourself a judgment. But after it was in China, from 2003 onwards, we didn't get to see that. So I was
Yeah.
glad that they added that segment back.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Following Czech Republic was Denmark. Another blonde, tall, pale colored gown, also with a cape.
Stunning.
Beautiful.
And I wondered about Denmark. This girl is pretty, but how come she didn't place? I felt bad. Was she imitating Czech Republic's look, do you think? I don't know. We'll see. But do you guys remember Miss Universe 2015 when Miss USA's gown, it was a bridal gown and she had a cape.
Yes.
When she came out on the stage, I thought, wow, she could win Miss Universe of that look. But
Okay.
then again, she took off the cape after that, and I
Mm.
think she should have kept the cape. But I thought that was one great evening gown that Miss has ever had. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Looking at the comments. Oh, they put Australia instead of Turkey. They just put the blonde girl so that Asia and Oceania would look like so diverse. Maybe. Gowns were so much better this year. LOL, Rafa. I feel the same about Tunisia. It's the round face, I think. See, I'm telling you, they both have round faces. Tunisia and Shree Saini. Czech Republic stood out the minute she walked out. That cape was beautiful with a gown. Love the cape. Bring back the scepter too. Scepter.
Yes.
Indians being obsessed with whiteness and white beauty. Next. Well, we can talk about fair skin, how white skin is so valued in a lot of cultures, Asia, Africa, everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do? Is it like the colonial mentality thing? You remember because India was colonized by the British for a long time, and the British instilled in the Indians that if you have to be beautiful, you have to be white. Being
Yeah.
white means being beautiful.
It's
Okay.
still the same here in Thailand too. Everywhere you go,
And it's the
there
same.
are like
It's the same in the
drugstores.
Philippines. It's the same in Mexico.
Yeah.
It's the same in Africa. Everywhere.
It's whitening products. Like, in Europe, you go to a drugstore and there's all these tanning products to make yourself darker, while in Asia, everything is
It's
whitening.
the opposite.
I
Yeah.
should not be complaining because I made tons of money doing whitening cream commercials.
Looking like a ghost.
But I would commend all the girls around the world to stop it because I think they are so stunning. I was always jealous of how beautiful girls of color, their skin, their lips, like their talent. I think, it's cultural, but I remember in all times in Europe, being pale meant that you are aristocracy because aristocracy was inside in the castle. They were not going in the sun while the peasants were working outside, right? Like doing the crops and so on. So I think maybe it started there that the aristocracy it's white, but it's just ridiculous. We're 2024, so.
Okay, that's true. Next, actually, I forgot to mention Slovakia from this group. She was stunning. She was gorgeous. Also, another tall blonde was Scotland. You know, how did anyone miss Scotland? You know, I mean, I would prefer Scotland actually. Look-wise, I think Scotland looks the best compared to England, Wales, or Northern Ireland. You know, the British group. But I don't know what happened, but I thought Scotland was amazing. All right. This was followed, of course, from the contestants from Asia and Oceania. Okay, what was so interesting about this group? Did you guys notice something about this group?
Not sure.
Cambodia did a twirl. She was the only contestant that did a twirl. Go rewatch the segment. She was the only one who did the twirl. And my God, couldn't Macau China find a more lukewarm contestant? She was the girl who she hardly smiled. She was so she was like, I don't know, she looked like a robot or something, like a mechanical doll. Hardly no expression on her face whatsoever. Like, Macau China, what are you doing here? Okay. And then of course Philippines, poor Philippines. She didn't make the cut. She was so struggling how to walk. Like Gwendolyn, what happened? She was like walking at a snail's pace. You know, couldn't you walk any faster? You know, so I don't know what happened to the Philippines. And of course, Venezuela didn't make it. Colombia did not make it. Mexico did not make it. USA, all the powerhouse countries did not make it. So we're going to talk about that later as well.
Yeah.
So there were basically a total of 112 contestants who walked the stage runway. This segment was followed by the announcement of Beauty with a Purpose winners. As you know, they chose a winner per continent: Brazil, Uganda, Ukraine, and Nepal. Okay. And the Karan says that each of their cause or project will be supported by the Miss World organization. And then Karan announces Brazil as the winner. Now, can we talk about her project, her Beauty with a Purpose project? You know, the reason why she won is because hardly anyone talks about leprosy. No one talks about Hansen's disease. And I think it's time that people know what this disease is all about. Because remember, in the olden days, before science and technology, we considered lepers as basically scums of the earth. You know, their disease was caused by, you know, it was like karma. They must have done something bad in their past life that deserved this disease, that causes disease for them. So, but now with modern science, medicine, and technology, we're much more educated about this disease. And there are different levels. Actually, the more clinical term is actually Hansen's disease, because leprosy has a lot of the stigma attached to it.
Yes.
Oh, you're a leper. You're a leper. You know, don't touch me, etc. Whereas with Hansen's disease, it's more, I guess it's more compassionate sounding compared to leper or leprosy. Okay.
Yeah.
So Miss Brazil won the Beauty with a Purpose Award project, which automatically propelled her to the top 8. Now, this was followed by the announcement of the fast track events. Okay. They showed a footage of from each event and whatnot. They started with the world designer winners. They had 4 countries: USA, India, Czech, Ethiopia. Of course, I love USA's gown, and I mentioned that in during our last live discussion.
She's really pretty.
It was designed by a Venezuelan, Nidal Nue, I can't even pronounce his last name, but of Middle Eastern descent. So it was one of the most beautiful, intricate, gorgeous gowns that I've ever seen on Miss World stage. Okay.
Agreed.
You agree? Okay.
Yeah, and I think I just wanted to touch on like the gowns aspect for the next year's edition. Wherever the host country is, I think if you can just incorporate the culture of the host country into the evening gown for this particular round, I think you will definitely win the best because the dress, even though it didn't really have much American touch to it, it had a very Indian element. I know there were some people who are kind of against it, saying like it doesn't look American enough, but I think it looks beautiful. And I think it's like a really good homage towards the host country. So it was really clever. Yeah.
Now the question is, do the girls get to keep these gowns though? That what I want to know. Does Miss USA get to keep the beautiful gown? Does the Czech Republic
Why
get to
don't
keep
you
the
ask
gown?
national director?
Yeah,
It's
does
breaking out.
George, you're
Yeah.
breaking out. Yeah,
Am I? Look.
Yeah,
yeah,
I cannot hear John.
you're on and off. Are you okay? No, you're frozen.
Are you asking if Krystyna gets to keep the gown?
Yes,
The one which some daughter made?
yes. Does she? Or
I'm
was
not
just alone?
sure. I mean, he wore the blazer from the outfit for the finale, which was
Okay.
pretty cool. But I mean, I guess if she asked him, he would give it to her. There's no way that he would deny his
I
Miss
think
World
he
if she
should.
wanted it. But
I think he should just give it to her for Pete's sake. You know.
oh, they can keep it in their offices as a like a symbol of
Yeah, it's like a
their
museum or
success.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a museum. All right. So anyway, so those are the 4 countries that won the World Designer Winners. And then, of course, the top model, we all know, Martinique.
Martinique.
Martinique slayed the stage, and the other finalists were Slovakia, Turkey, and Botswana. Now, this is very interesting. Martinique's name was called. She goes to the stage, and she receives a trophy from Dr. Yogesh Lakhani, who is the founder of Bright Outdoor Media, who is supposed to be responsible for bringing Miss World to India. Okay, so this tiny little brown man next to this gigantic black glamazon. Okay, so he hands her the award, and Karan tells the doctor, thank you, not once but twice. Thank you, basically telling him to shoo away, go, your turn is over, leave the stage. But no, the doctor stays on stage.
You just want to take some
images for more photo op. You know, maybe he felt, you know what, I'm a doctor. I was the one who's responsible for bringing Miss World to India. Therefore, I need more airtime. I need more time to spend with next to Miss Martinique, etc. So yeah, I thought it was really hilarious. So this was followed by the sports challenge, and they showed a 5-minute footage showing all the sports activities that the girls competed in. What do you think of the sports event? I mean, most of us did not even see the sports events because they were not really telecast. I mean, you know, they engage in cricket. What else? Track and field, I think.
Running,
football, running, all the basic track and field events. Okay, but like, who cares? Like who gives? Okay.
Rafa, can we like make an announcement and like just let the social media team of Miss World that they haven't uploaded the top model event on YouTube yet? We haven't seen the girls' performance yet, like properly in like HD video.
Isn't that funny? Is it weird though? But you know, the footage they showed during the telecast was okay. I mean, it was professionally done, and they actually
but they haven't
showed.
posted like the
Yeah,
yeah.
It was like, I thought, I don't know, maybe budget. Who knows?
They should upload it soon. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so this was followed by the sports, and of course, we all know Croatia won. Okay. Followed by the Roundtable Multimedia Challenge. Okay, I sort of like timed the duration of each footage. So the sports footage lasted about like 5 minutes because there's so many sports events, and then the Roundtable Multimedia video was like pretty much 3 minutes long, and we know Vietnam won the multimedia. Okay, now my question is, why weren't Croatia and Vietnam invited to the stage to receive their trophies? They didn't show up. They were nowhere to be found. Why was Martinique the only girl to receive a trophy on stage? All right. Can anybody answer that question, please? All right. I mean, to me, that was like a, I don't know, it's a mishap of some sort. This was followed by the head-to-head challenge, again, based on the G20 Summit. They showed the footage, of course, of all the girls, the popular girls who gave the best speech, I guess, Lebanon, Botswana, England, so forth. Now, followed by the talent part with Miss Tunisia. Okay. Now, she sings on stage with backup singers wearing this green green outfits. Now, I wasn't sure what language was she singing in. Was she singing in?
I think in her, no?
In Arabic?
Think so.
or Indian or
Sounded
Hindi?
Arabic.
What?
It sounded like Arabic.
Arabic?
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
me too.
Yeah,
I don't think she would learn that fast Indian.
okay. So because she was singing in Arabic. I mean, she could have sung in English, you know. But she was singing, okay, so she was singing in Arabic, but I didn't think she was singing, she was really singing. I think she was lip syncing. It wasn't like a
I don't
live.
think anybody was actually singing last that night.
Nobody was.
When you look at all the other singers, yeah.
Not even not even Tony and Neha Kakar, the sibling singers and stuff. All
But
right.
I'm glad they did not, because you know what? I don't want to listen during Miss World some horrible singing. I prefer that it's like done nicely, you know, like on the playbacks. Just we can enjoy.
Exactly. So okay, so once all the fast track events were announced, this was followed by all 13 fast track winners. They all appear on stage, and this is one of my favorite segments of the show. They all appear on
Yeah.
stage wearing these gorgeous, exquisite, lavish Indian costumes. Okay, from the new movie by Sanjay Leela Bansali, which is to be shown on
Mhm.
Netflix. It's like it's a period series called Hiramandi, the Diamond Bazaar. Okay. So I love the way Karan describes Bansali's work. Karan says, Bansali does not make movies, but cinematic masterpieces. And he's right. Are you familiar? If you're not familiar with Bansali movies, okay, you non-Indians out there, Ed, are you familiar with Bansali movies?
I
Okay.
have to check it.
Is it one of the movies where the one you just talked about, Deepika Padukone? Was
Yeah,
she in one of
Deepika Padukone appeared in
I've
several
seen the movie for it.
Bansali movies. Yes.
Yeah, like she's like dressed in an elaborate Indian outfit. I think she was like dancing in a palace. It was beautiful. It was like,
Yeah, that was Gumar, I think. The name of that song is Gumar.
oh yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
it a couple of times.
I've seen that music video a gazillion times. I just
Yeah.
love that whole
So
choreography.
breathtaking. Like the whole, the
Very
venue, the
breathtaking.
dresses, the makeup, even the dances, everything. I was expecting like that. And we got this segment, and I was like really happy to see it.
Yeah.
I think this is a really good way of presenting like Indian culture
Yeah.
to the
No, if you really, if you analyze Indian dance, because there's so many it's classical Indian dance and whatnot, modern Indian dance, Bollywood, of course, and everything. When you focus on the movements, every part of the body is used in Indian dance.
Moving.
The head to toes, the eyes, the head, the neck,
expressions.
the expressions, the hand gestures, the
everything.
fingers, the feet, the knees, everything is used. And the more I see it, even when you go watch really old classical Indian Bollywood movies, man, the choreography is just so challenging. And I tried to imitate some of these dances in my living room. Heck, after like 1 minute, I drop dead because I can't.
I'll do a video.
Because it's just like, oh my
Please,
God.
please.
And really, because first of all, you need flexibility. You have to be flexible. You have to have strong legs. If you watch that movie, RRR, another hit Indian movie, with these two guys.
Yeah.
It took place during the British colonization of India. If you watch the dance routine of these two guys, oh my God. Oh, right. Nobody can do that, okay? Nobody can do that but Indians. So hooray for Indian dancing and Indian culture. Love it. Okay. So moving on. So the girls, all the 13 girls, are joined on stage by the 6 main actresses in the okay. So I jotted their names, and I'm not sure if I pronounced these correctly. The first one to go out is Charmeen Segal Mehta, Aditi Rao Hidari, Sonakshi Sinha, Manisha Koirala, Sanjita Shaikh, and Richa Chada. All right. So I'm gonna, I can't wait to watch this movie. I think everybody should watch this movie on Netflix, okay? Especially if you love Indian culture or if you really want to know more about Indian culture. So the stage so the stage was set up to look like the setting of the movie, actually. It was amazing. It felt like a real palace, or this is why Bansali is considered one of the greatest movie directors of all time, because his work is actually a real masterpiece. I don't think anybody can match it. I can't think of any American director who can actually, well, I don't know, maybe George Lucas, maybe, I don't know, Steven Spielberg, maybe, who knows? Anyway, what do you think of the 13 fast track winners wearing Indian costumes? Okay, let me know. Comment, please. All right, I'm reading.
It was enchanting.
It was very okay. Justin says the Indian production was so good at putting spaces for other girls on the side. The one in China during 2018 was like a 1980s futuristic spaceship. I don't remember. Did you? Yeah, maybe. I don't remember. All right. Hideaki says best production in years. Hope that Julia made money for the next years and sustain pageants. Tori Ann is not a terrible singer. Let's not do that. We can talk about Tori Ann, Tony Ann not appearing. Why was she canceled? Poor Tony Ann sing. She was canceled at the very last minute.
Let her live. Let her be a singer. I think she really wants to, go towards the singing direction, right? I thought she was supposed to get like a contract.
You know what? Did you read? I think, yeah, Antonio sent me that message that somebody had forwarded to him about Tony Ann, or about whatever, Tony Ann or something. What is that?
Not sure.
Did you guys see the message that he sent to the group, to our group? What is that? Oh, okay, here it is. Okay, this is a message that Antonio forwarded to me, that somebody else had forwarded to him. It says they, meaning the competition in Miss World, they are very cutthroat. All the past Miss World winners are angry because Endemol got them off stage and only picked Maria Julia Mantilla and Manushi as judges. Do you remember that segment where the co-hosts announced the names of former Miss World title holders who were attending, who were on, but they were never shown on stage. The camera never focused on their faces. They were only acknowledged by name, but not by presence. So anyway, this person who wrote this note that was sent to me said, Miss World winners are angry because Endemol got them off stage and only picked Mahu and Manushi as judges. Most of the decisions were not made by Julia this year, and you can see the difference. Next year, it will be the same thing. Endemol will produce a big show, and the judging will be fair. Endemol did not hesitate to clap for Thailand, Philippines, Mexico, and Venezuela. And usually at Miss World, they don't score the girls rigorously. Endemol actually tabulated everything. When they took over Miss France, they did the same changes. If you pay attention, the former Miss World from Poland is yet to congratulate the new winner. They see her as a product of Endemol and not of Julia. So this is the message that was forwarded to me. I don't know. I think it's very interesting. What do you guys think? You agree?
Does that mean that we're going to get?
I think it's not. It's a lot of speculation without any proof, because Miss World will not ever let the producing company take over the scoring, and if there is a competition where the girls are scored rigorously, is Miss World. They are scored the moment they arrive in the host country, and just because Thailand, Venezuela, Colombia, Mexico, and whoever are a superpower in Miss Universe doesn't mean they have a free pass here. So that message is kind of bitter. It's a little bit bitter. And as a representative of the Miss World brand, it's like I'm telling you, it's a lot of bollock. I'm sure there are some things that are true. I was surprised that the former winners were not acknowledged, but to question the integrity and scoring of Miss World, something that I have witnessed, like just because maybe your favorite didn't place, you better have proof if you're gonna say it. Like Kun An, if you're gonna say Paula is corrupt, you better have proof. But you cannot just accuse anything. And people love to play phone. Like, oh, someone told me. Like if you go to social media, people rather believe in rumors than things that have proof. And I don't know. It's kind of like
their actions.
Exactly. Right.
Like 50-50 that statement.
Yeah.
I have to say that it's actually annoying on all the other contests that girls from particular countries like Venezuela, Philippines, Thailand, and so on are not always the best, but they always get in the top just because they are out of that country. So Miss World is the one contest that doesn't care, which I said in the beginning, they don't care where you come from, how many followers you have, what is your sash factor, how many sponsors you have. They focus on the girl and the girl only. So get over it. You cannot pick all the crowns from around the world. I saw some Latin comment, oh, Miss World is discriminating Latinas and so on. And I'm like, okay, so you just get
That's
all
not
the
true.
freaking crowns in the world, but yet my little tiny country with little sponsors who work their asses off, we had the guts to go and take the one crown of you. We are so terrible. I am so sorry, so sorry. We're gonna give it to you next time. My apologies. We took our second world crown, but we are so evil. Get over yourself.
Can I just add on the judges part? Okay. I think for me the
Oh.
judgment is fair, but I would have really preferred to see the former Miss World in the judges panel instead of I think 9 or 10 Indian judges. I thought there was
Mostly
a
Indian, yeah.
huge amount of Indian judges in the panel because I know that the pageant was held in Mumbai in India, but I would have really preferred to see a bit more diversity in terms of the judges panel from different nations. I think that would have looked a lot better. It just just looking at it, it felt like I was watching Femina Miss India than Miss World.
Okay. All right. I just wish Miss World could be a little bit transparent, says Sargam. Multistanner says Mahu Mantia was not even invited by Miss World. She was chosen as a judge after the organization got the information that she was coming. Interesting. Former Miss World from India, Yukta Mookhey, was in attendance. She was not acknowledged, but they gave a 2-minute slot for Priyanka's video message. Actually, it wasn't 2 minutes. It was almost 5 minutes. Priyanka's message goes on to show you need to be more to be important to get airtime. Well, yeah, that's too bad. That's really sad, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Do you think Endemol can market Miss World in Europe as Ella Miss France popularity? That would be a great rebirth. Well, good luck with that one.
Rafa, actually, Endemol being a global brand, this competition was produced by Endemol India, which is a subdivision. It doesn't exactly mean that it was produced by Endemol France. Different Indian team, creative direction. So they have a contract to produce for the next 3 years, I believe. So I mean, we can expect that. But what we saw yesterday was usually the type of show they market in India. I think it was very, very well done in that aspect because, Sony Lee bought the rights for them, to broadcast in India. So they were trying to make it, interesting for the local audience. Having said that, do you remember everybody was talking about Rihanna attending this Indian wedding last week? And they were talking about how that family was splurging money and they didn't do any charity work. And that is how I started reading about Nita and Bani. And I, got familiar with her foundation and everything they do. So I was really surprised when suddenly Priyanka is on the video talking about Nita and Bani. I didn't know she was going to be in the show. So I was like, okay,
Well, she's a
and then
big
suddenly
Hollywood star now, so
they give her an
Priyanka,
award and
yeah.
everything, I guess, my guess, because they got a lot of heat because of this wedding. And I believe that she wanted the world to know that she actually does social work, does something, because this foundation is really big. I was reading about it, but they are not bragging a lot,
Yeah.
They give scholarships and everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've done some reading about that about Nita too myself. Amazing woman, and that's why she got the humanitarian award from Auntie Julia. So yeah, she deserves it. Anyway, so moving on. Okay, so after this segment with all the 13 girls were joined by the actresses, this was followed by when they actually showed the trailer of the movie featuring a dance scene, which I really, really love. And then followed by all the girls wearing Indian-inspired dresses by Indian designer Archana Kochar, okay, as they were serenaded by singer and songwriter Sean. I thought it was a good segment. Now, after that, Megan Young calls the designer Archana to be on stage. So Archana talks about her work, her design, and she says that her fabrics, and I really love this, her fabrics are made without killing a single silkworm. It's called
great.
Ahimsa silk. Okay, Ahimsa is the ancient Indian principle of nonviolence. which applies to actions towards all living beings. It is a key virtue in Indian religions like Jainism, Buddhism, Hinduism, and Sikhism. Okay.
Yeah.
So
it was one of the principles
every
of
day should be
capital.
Ahimsa Day, people. And why do you think I'm vegan? Because I don't believe in slaughtering animals for food. I think all living beings deserve to be free and to be left alone by humans, okay?
And deserve to be loved
Eat
too,
more
you know.
plants. Live a
Eat more
plant-based
plants
diet.
and save the planet.
Save the planet. Okay.
Because when they were talking about sustainable goals, one of them is actually sustainable farming and food security. And it's already proven fact that by 2050, there's going to be 2 more billion people. And we are not going to be capable of feeding them because today's crops, we feed 74% of today's crops to the animals that we eat. Only 16% goes on our plate. So you guys, if you want to save the planet in the Miss World style, please at least cut down 2 days a week on the meat.
Meatless Mondays.
I love how
Sorry,
we look
I
like
have to throw it in.
Captain America, like go go planet. Remember there was a cartoon where they're like as a ring and like they would have like different elements because we have 4 of us. It looks like we are part of the Captain America.
Yeah.
I think Captain
yeah,
Planet.
Yeah. So I haven't worn, I mean, I own like a handful of silk scarves. And this is before I became vegan. I didn't realize, that they were made of silkworm. But now about this ahimsa silk, I think I'm gonna be patronizing, Archana's designs and stuff.
Great job.
If she designs it for men, I would buy her clothes. I would buy her clothes for sure.
No,
Well, you know,
actually,
when we
I thought you should wear like one of those lengas. I want to see you do like an Indian dance because you're telling us, right? You love like Indian Bollywood. So I want to see you do a video. Yeah, and post on social
Oh my
media.
God, Rafa, you have to come to Thailand and then we're going to make a choreography together and post it.
With Kunan, I can.
Yeah.
All right, let's do that. Let's do that. Wonderful.
You know, Rafa, I'm embarrassed to admit that I have only watched one Bollywood movie in my life. I think one Bansali movie, which was Devdas. And
With
Dola Redola.
with Aishwarya, yeah.
Yeah, that is one of the best movies I saw in my life. But I haven't really got into watching more movies.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, that was beautiful.
And that was like 20 something years ago that I watched it.
I remember the
choreography. The funny thing is in Bollywood, I actually know Nargis Love Bakri because she was a model with me in Thailand. She's an American, but half Czech and half Indian of a descent. So it's very interesting. She was a model we met in Thailand, and then we were hanging out in New York. And then she went to India as a model. But she got like a small part in the movie and she built up on it. And now she's a huge Bollywood star. So that's a fun fact about Bollywood. I love Bollywood.
Yeah, it's fun.
Funny. Yeah, it's funny too because lately, well, I think that a lot of things have changed. I mean, Bollywood has evolved a lot because in the olden days, you would never see like a white person as a backup dancer. But now in today's generation, there's so many like white people dancing in the background. You know what I mean?
Actually,
what happened?
Actually, you can stand in front of the gate in Bollywood every day and they always open because they need extra for these movies. So a lot of the foreigners are doing it because they want to be in Bollywood movies. So they wait in the front of the gate, they open the gate and they just pick a bunch of people to film these like backup choreographies and so
on. Okay. Wow. This Lenka sounds like Miss England. Really?
The facts. Because she was very factual when she talked. She always put in percentage and the facts and so on. So that is a compliment. Thank you.
Love you, girl. But please don't preach at us. Was she preaching? Matthew says.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry, but are you having children? If you have children, wouldn't you want to preserve the planet for them?
Sure. Her outfits were not only Archana's outfits were not only sustainable, but they were also beautiful and looked so expensive. That is so true. That is very true. Today, Edwin is very happy. What's the reason?
I mean,
I'm
your girl did not make the cut. Hello, you should be sad, right?
I'm falling asleep. Well, actually, my girl just arrived. She's back home like an hour ago.
Oh, that was
I think.
fast.
Well, actually, you know what? I'm not bitter that she didn't make it. I learned a lot with this format. I think we have to try harder because we already crowned her successor in December, so we have a good contestant coming forward. I know it was really hard and strong because 112 girls, and you know, Miss World is kind of like it has a really specific criteria,
Mhm.
really specific, and only those of us who understand it can actually pinpoint a prediction that might or might not be true. And having said that, there are other years that is a Russian roulette. So yeah, I mean, I was kind of disappointed when it happened. I was kind of sad. There were a lot of surprises. Some of the girls that I didn't even see in the competition, but you know, they did good interviews. The organization loved them. I mean, you cannot take the merit from anybody. Like you cannot trash talk a girl who made it over yours because you didn't like her. I mean, there's something must have happened there, you
Mhm.
know, and they did have personal interviews and we didn't see those.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, again, you know, you can only be transparent so much to a certain extent. Um, I mean, if you were to run a pageant, would you like divulge everything to the public? I wouldn't. I
Definitely
think
It
not.
you have to sort
depends.
of
It
like,
depends on Miss Grant does it because it's a way of attracting your audience, but
true.
actually it's a different audience. Miss
Mhm.
Universe still is still a little bit hermetic in that aspect. They hide the interviews. They are not. They say that they're gonna publish all the interviews and only publish like
But they never did.
excerpts.
No, they
Like the
never did.
semifinals. Yeah, semifinalist. They
Yeah,
have done it.
they never did. Yeah, I kind of prefer the Miss Grand type, you know, where people pay to watch the girls be interviewed and whatnot and be humiliated and stuff. I like that. I can't
And
wait for
even
I can't wait for Miss Grand.
and even then, you see girls in the finals who were like really horrible, and people don't know that. So you never know. You never know unless you a contestant or you're in the staff. You never know what's going on.
Yeah.
By the way, I have to add that this Miss World edition was officially 2024 because
Okay.
a lot of people
Okay.
are posting that this is 2023 and that Krystyna is completing the cycle and they're starting doing their work, like adding this Miss World edition. This is 2024 because the next edition, 2025, is going to happen in March next year.
All right, so
And
Do you know,
so
like the
Christ-
host country for the next edition? Any clue about it?
Botswana.
Mauritius, but people are saying Mauritius. I have no confirmation. We have no confirmation. We have confirmation only about the date. That's going to be in March of next year. But actually, the Karan in the show mentioned Miss World 2024. The invitations that everybody in the audience got said Miss World 2024.
Okay.
So this
Yeah,
is
that's
Miss
really
World.
helpful.
Okay, so we,
Krystyna is actually 23, 24.
24. Okay.
Like Carolina was 21, 22.
Uh-huh.
all right.
So
So
Wait, Krystyna, it's what?
so
Sorry, I missed
Wikipedia should change the entry from Miss in Wikipedia it's Miss World 2023. So they
Yeah,
should
it's
enter
23.
24.
Yeah.
It's the last one
it
24.
should be changed
Okay.
to 24, yes.
So that's good to know. So that's why they kept saying instead of focusing on the year, they keep saying the edition, 71st edition.
Yeah,
instead of
71st. I heard that so
71st.
much.
Yeah. Even
Even
Julia
behind
said,
you. 71st.
even
Yeah.
even Julia said that and whatnot.
Yeah, because at the last moment, they didn't know if they were going to hold a second edition this year. And it was submitted to voting. It was submitted to voting and everybody voted for it to take place next year. So that's why.
That's good. She has at least 1 year reign, right? Krystyna, at least. Because if they had done one, let's say like end of the year, she will get like what, 10 months or like 9 months of reign, which is really short compared to how much Carolina got.
2 years. But we don't know if it's going to be postponed again. So I hope not.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. You never know.
Don't worry, it will be postponed again because another pandemic is coming.
No, Rafa.
Yeah, but the sad part, Rafa, is that
Coming out
most
from the
people
lab
are
from
not going
China
to even
again.
pay attention. Most people are not even going to pay attention this time.
Every time there's a United States presidential elections where Trump is involved, the Chinese will release a new virus, okay, causing another global pandemic, okay? and the Democrats will have the chance to cheat again.
Oh
Because they
no,
don't
the
want
Democrats, unless
because
they're gonna do
they don't
something,
want
they're
Trump
done.
to win. Trump is the savior. He's the one who can save the world from China. China. All right,
China
moving
is
on.
okay.
Moving on. I wish other countries' national director could learn from Ed instead of playing the blame game. We love
Absolutely.
Ed. Ed,
Actually, I'm gonna
you-
be honest.
did
I'm
you
gonna be
attend the
honest.
directors meeting?
When I was new, not with Miss World, because with Miss World I have 8 years, but I was director for other pageants. When I was new, I was playing the blame game. I can accept that because I wouldn't understand a lot of things that happen in other pageants, but you start learning and you mature from it. I think that when you're young, and especially if you are into beauty pageants, which is a competition by themselves, I mean, you want to win. And then when your delegate doesn't win, everybody's saying, oh, because she was missing this or missing that. But then you realize there are other girls who actually made it or won that didn't have those qualities either. So it makes you question the whole system. But then, I mean, a lot of years had to pass in order for me to get this mentality. But with Miss World, I can understand what happens. Like Panama did great in 2018. She was Miss World Americas. And I'm going to be honest, I was not expecting anything that year. I was really surprised about how well she performed. I mean, and I always say, I'd rather be surprised than have all my expectations and all the eggs in one basket a la Peru and then crash and burn. You see?
I think like all the national director have to be a bit more professional because realistically speaking, there's like 1%, less than 1% chance to win Miss World because there are over 100 contestants. So you cannot win every year. Like this is a message to like powerhouse countries because I see even on my like social media, I'm getting a lot of like, bashing because I'm like posting about the Czech Republic and like I'm just saying how much I love her and like she's doing such a great job. And like you know, there are some countries who are like so upset that the country did not make top 40 maybe for like the first time in like 20 years. So what? You know, there are other countries who barely even get a placement in top 40. And I think they're so happy even getting top 40 placement. So let's just be kind, you know, send a better candidate next year because there's so many countries who barely even get noticed. And I'm so happy that we're getting a non-pageant country winning Miss World. Let's just
Exactly. And speaking of that, I hope they keep the head-to-head format they had this year because that gave us a clear idea. That gave us a clear idea of the type of girl they're looking for. And, you know, before the head-to-head was just a compilation of videos and then the girls were talking nothing relevant and then everybody was voting. So it was nothing like you could grasp into it. But this year it was so like G2O. It was so interesting the way they held it. And all the girls like listening in the background. And if you're not a good speaker, say goodbye to the crowd. And now this year I noticed how important it is to properly speak English.
Oh yeah.
Before they didn't really look into that, but now it's necessary.
Except for one thing that I wish that they would post on YouTube the video of all the girls talking.
Absolutely.
Because I wanted, you know, I wanted to know who they are, how they speak, and with most of the girls, we will never get to know.
Well,
Which
yeah,
makes me sad.
at least a brief intro, like lasting for like a minute or something. You know, that would be nice. Yeah. But
They
anyway,
did the previous years, right? I think Carolina's there, we got to see like head to head for all the contestants. So at least we kind of had an idea about how they were in terms of communication skills. But this year, because they only posted the ones who made it to the head to head, I don't really know much about the other contestants, which is really unfortunate because there are over 100 contestants. So I'm not going to take like extra time to like check every single one of them, which is not realistic. So I wish they like you said, Lenka, posted like all of the contestants head to head. That would really help us too.
Yeah.
can you imagine next year if they added like 10 more countries? So like 122. How many countries are there in the world right now? Like 197, I think, total, pretty much.
104, I think.
Can you imagine? Can they accommodate 197 countries like next year?
There are some countries that will never go.
No. Well, I guess. So that's why they need to do like a preliminary, like a competition. It's like World Cup. Only the top 20 countries can compete in World Cup. All the others can compete in stuff. Yeah. So anywho, cheers to Lenka for actually predicting Czech Republic as the winner. Miss World is so unpredictable. Not this year. I think Czech Republic was on everybody's list to win.
Yes.
Yeah,
Even-
she was one of the favorites, but I gotta say, I don't deserve the credit for this because obviously I love her. She's my girl. I was a teeny tiny part of her journey. So me putting her in her first place is slightly biased too. So I wouldn't like to take a credit for something that it's not 100% coming, out of like 100% unbiased mind.
Can I take this moment to give some appreciation towards our lovely Lenka, because she's the reason why we got to see this beautiful evening gown by the Thai designer
Yes.
Scarlett, because she has all the connections in Thailand. And I know that she's so humble and she doesn't want to brag about it, but I think she deserves all the credit and enough credit.
Yes.
She's
Let's
Thank you
give
so
a big
much.
round of applause to
Give her a
Lenka.
round of applause for that.
Everybody.
But thank you so much. But truthfully, the reason I don't want the credit is because I absolutely adore Tatiana Makarenko. I have been watching her doing so much work for years. I mean, coming from a small country like Czech Republic, it's almost impossible to find sponsors for beauty pageants. And she works tirelessly to get the sponsors, to get the money, to get the best girls, to organize the finale. Then she nurtures these girls. She grows them into the most incredible beauty queens I have seen in a long time. And, she puts all this energy, and then then I come in and I just do teeny tiny part. And then a lot of people are like, oh yeah, Lenka. And I'm like, no, please, that woman who really deserves 100% recognition is Tatiana. So that's why I do it, because I want, people to know that that woman is incredible. She worked hard and she deserves all the recognition in the world.
And can you,
Yes.
if you don't mind talking about this evening gown, because I know there's so much story about it and how I ended up in the stage, because I don't think a lot of people know
What is
about
the
it.
inspiration behind the gown anyway? What is it
Can you
supposed to
please tell us
represent?
about it?
That's the
You know?
crown. I mean, it's in the colors of the crown, yeah.
Okay.
And the regality, as I said before, with the cape. But yeah, like as George said about the story of the gown. So Krystyna came here and we went to GL Gala to try other dresses, which he can possibly borrow for the dress. And then, of course, the dress that he's making for her. And then he was so amazing. I love GL so much. He set up amazing photo shoot with Monglong Studio. So high five to Monglong for such an amazing pictures of Krystyna. And then, when she went to India, he shipped the dress, but he put on as the name Miss World Czech Republic. So when it arrived at the customs, they are like, well, that's not the name that is in the passport. So they hold on to the to the gown. And then everybody was sending emails. Everybody was freaking out because she was in New Delhi. It was supposed to ship there. Nothing happened. She goes to Mumbai. Nothing happens. We were all freaking out. We're like, oh my gosh, she's not going to get her gown. And finally, a day before the finale, the gown arrived. So,
whoosh. Wow.
That's meant to be. Yeah.
Wow.
It was meant
So
to
you
be.
always, that's why
She
you
can-
always have to have a backup gown in case.
yeah. She did from Tatiana, but it's just, when you have been putting all your work and mind, and then GL was putting work and mind in it, Krystyna was, you have your mind set on that specific gown. And also, as I was saying, number 13 everywhere, it was 13th anniversary of GL too. So in our 13th time. So it was just really heartbreaking, but thank God it happened, because as I said last time, my favorite queen in my favorite designer gown, that was the perfect combination, and it came true, and she got the crown. So I am so happy for Krystyna. I'm so happy for GL too, because he is getting the recognition he deserves as well.
Exactly. Good for him. Always travel with your gown. Carry your gown. Protect it. Save it with your life, for Pete's sake. Never have it shipped separately. God knows it could end up in Timbuktu, anywhere. Okay, no. Always carry your gown. All right, people. Rafa, you sound crazy. Better not to talk about politics. China will release one more disease to defeat Trump, but that's true. Trump should save Miss Universe before he saves America. Yeah, I don't think so. I think he's moved on. India should host Miss Universe, but they need to produce on the global level like Thailand and Philippines does instead of Bollywood's film fair show. India will only host Miss World if they bring back the franchise to Femina and gave India 3 more crowns. All right. Yeah, true. But Femina is history. Pageant Empress, please. This is not a participation trophy. Girls only get one chance. Don't play with girls' hard work like that. Okay. Interesting comments. All right. Let's move on to the announcement of the 13 fast track winners.
Okay.
We all know. No surprise. I think everybody deserved their spot. This was followed by Karan introducing actress Sonakshi Sinha, who is from the movie. She says Sonakshi says that her mother was part of Miss India, but she never made it to Miss World. Those were her exact words. And she says something about the movie, that the characters in the movie are all women with brains and, intelligent and whatnot. And then before she left the stage, she does the classic beauty queen wave. I thought it was cute. Now, this was followed by the announcement of the rest of the entire top 40. Now, Belize to me was a surprise. Everybody else was surprised by Belize. I did not expect Belize to be there. So Belize, Canada, Dominican Republic, Peru, Puerto Rico, TNT, Cameroon, Kenya, Madagascar, Mauritius, Somalia, South Africa, South Sudan, Tanzania, Belgium, Czech Rep, France, Gibraltar, Italy, Spain, Wales, Australia, India, Indonesia, Malaysia, New Zealand, Turkey. So those were the remaining top 40. Okay. Then followed by Megan and Karan introducing the judges. Most of course are Indian, including Manushi Chilar, and actress Kriti Sanon, who's gorgeous. And the non-Indians were Maria Mantia, Miss World 2004, and Julia Morley. Followed by the performance by the siblings, Tony. Now, can we talk about these siblings? The siblings act, Tony and Neha Kakkar. Did you like your performance? I mean, they're supposed like
my
Tony. Tony
watching...
Kakkar has like over 75 million followers on Instagram. So
like,
I've
did
never
you guys
heard
actually
of them.
watch it and like listen to the audio? Because I didn't listen to the audio because Hector from Venezuela, I was watching his live stream and he was muting it every time they're performing. So I don't know how they sound like.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, I think they're great dance. They're better dancers than they are singers. I think. I mean, they're performers, but I think they're better dancers than they are better singers. Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, to me, it was just okay. I mean, I really don't know much about Indian pop music, but to any Indians watching out there, did you like the siblings act, like the Tony and Neha Kakkar? Please comment. Let me know. Moving on. So this was followed by, again, a promotional video of India, promoting the whole country. But I thought it's interesting because the promotion of Indian culture interspersed with the different activities from the pageant, where you see the girls, going to the Save the Tiger event and whatnot. I thought that was really cool. Very important because the Bengal tiger is an endangered species, and I'm glad that Miss World is paying attention to saving this animal, beautiful animal. Now, this was followed by Megan introducing Dr. Yogesh Lakhani again, telling the world that he's responsible for bringing Miss World to India, followed by the announcement of the top 12. Now, for each continent, there are 3 girls. Americas, we have Brazil, Dominican Republic, and TNT. Africa, Botswana, Mauritius, and Uganda. To me, Mauritius was a surprise. Why? How do you think, okay, do you have any theories as to how Mauritius made the cut?
I have a theory. Can I say it? Because I think, nothing against her. I think she's beautiful, but I think it was in Delhi. She had a bit of a controversy because on her social media, I think she posted regarding like a pollution in Delhi, and there were a lot of Indian fans. They were not really happy with her comment regarding like the pollution. Like she posted something on her Instagram, which I think was quite silly. You should never discredit or say bad thing about the host country. That is just absolutely not tolerable. So I think that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Like nothing wrong, nothing against her. It's just that because the way she talked about it, for me, it came across really immature. Like, how can you talk about a host country saying like it's so bad? Like, she was kind of like trash talking about a little bit about India. And I thought that was not really acceptable for me personally. Like I would not do that. So except that she's pretty. So I guess that's why she made it. But yeah, it's just that the controversy part is kind of rubbed me off. Yeah.
Well, I heard that, well, the president of Mauritius had been very critical of the Indian government. And
Oh.
as you know, Indians are the largest tourists visiting Mauritius. Had it not been
Okay.
for the Indian tourists, the Mauritius tourism industry would be basically dead. So he had been very critical of the Indian government. So the Indian tourists have been boycotting Mauritius. They stopped going there and patronizing the country. So some people are thinking, okay, maybe this is the reason why Mauritius made the cut. It's sort of like as a payback in a way. So if you put Miss Mauritius in the top 40, then the Mauritius government will provide free accommodations and free airfare to the winner and to the finalists, so they can visit Mauritius. And this explains why they're going to Mauritius.
They're going to Mauritius.
Actually, if you saw the show, you would notice that the Mauritius Tourism Board had paid publicity for Visit Mauritius. It was there because of the trip and everything. There's also the rumor that they're hosting this year. This is only a rumor. Before the pandemic, they were trying to host in 2020. That year, it was going to be, if I'm not mistaken, the host country was between Mauritius and Spain in that year.
Oh.
But then all the negotiations went bloop with the pandemic, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're actually trying to bring the competition there. But like I said, there's nothing confirmed at this moment. I have asked, they will not give us an answer. It's the same thing. They announced the Mr. World is going to be in September. They said close to India, in a country close to India. Everybody's saying that it's going to be in Vietnam. People say that it's going to be in Vietnam, actually.
Pakistan.
But we were told close to India, so we still don't know that either.
Interject about the Mr. World. Like, I know, like, this is kind of like not even the topic about the video, but like, I think Mr. Philippines is going to win Mr. World. Like, I'm going to say it right now, because he looks like a Ken doll. At the moment, the Miss World looks like a Barbie. I think it's a match made in heaven. So I think Philippines.
But the circumstances I talked with Rafa, that why he will not win. So
why? Why do you not like it?
What?
Why Kirk is not going to win Mr. World?
What?
No, because he's dumb.
Actually,
he's
the other thing.
Oh, the menstruation thing, that he was promoting menstruation. What?
No. His relationship with Kun An.
Oh, with Kun An. So Julia doesn't does not want a Mr. World who has had a scandalous relationship with Kun An.
I didn't know.
I thought that was his brother.
Please. Everybody knows that Kun An paid Kirk and his brother Clint to be her professional male escorts, basically.
I mean, he's an eye candy. Like, I want him to win. Like, I personally want Philippines to win Mr. World. So
you want Philippines to win? Did you see his latest fashion?
Yes, I posted it on my Instagram yesterday. Like, my friend was in that.
He dyed his hair blonde. He's blonde now.
He's gorgeous. Such a dream. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, continue with the Miss World. I just want
to
say,
oh, interesting. Okay, all the Indians are trolling Neha and Tony Kakar online. I guess they don't like the siblings. They kicked Tony and Singh for another Tony, and it was Tony Kakar. Haha, good one, Justin. I like that. I'm not really familiar with Miss World. How do they decide the top 12 from the top 40? The girls were not interviewed or questioned. Did the judges do anything? That's a $6 million question. We do not know. That has been the same question that we Pageant Fest have been asking for the last 30 years. Nobody knows. Bengal tiger population increased from 400 to 3,600 from 2013 to 2024. Okay, good. It's a success story. The government had done a lot of things to safeguard Bengali tigers. That's good to know. Yes, Rafa, this is correct. You did your research. There was a huge row between Indian and Mauritius politicians for criticizing Indian Prime Minister Modi. Lenka says continuation after they attack Shanice. I call
No,
out the Czech people.
No, that was the first thing because someone commented that I shouldn't be calling out certain countries, for something that it's what she said that it's inappropriate. And I say, you know what, I am sorry, guys, but I call out the things they are in the most respectful manner. If people misbehave, then I'm gonna call them out for that. So you just
Sure.
better act like a proper human beings. And it doesn't go for other countries only. I call my own country very often when they're acting like shitheads. I'm sorry. So I am not generalizing anyone. When someone is acting stupid, then I'm gonna call them out for that, including my own country, including Thailand. When Shanice Palacios won and Antonia didn't won, I love Thailand and I love Thai people. But when they were attacking Shanice, I call them out for that too. So get over it. Maybe people should just behave like a better human beings if you don't want me to call them out for their BS. Thank you.
Ooh, speaking of fights, can we talk about that fight between the Thai ladyboys and the Filipino ladyboys? Stop the war and violence between ladyboys.
By the way, there's a movie coming out about this drama. Did you know? There is a Thai movie coming out, I think like next month.
About ladyboys?
Yeah. So
Oh.
let's watch that first now. It's like a really comedy movie. I think it's called Heart Attack. Have you seen it, Lenka? It's a really famous Thai.
Not yet, I want to.
It was Pancake. It's like a very famous Thai comedian, and they always like dress up as women. It's like cross dresses, and they do like comedy shows. I think they had about 7 or 8 series, and the next series is about this drama between like Thai ladyboys and Philippine. I think it's really stupid, to be honest. Like,
I thought
Yeah.
when I saw that video, those footage of these ladyboys fighting in the streets, I didn't know whether I should cry or laugh. It was like it was like a drama comedy combination thing. You know what I
it
mean?
felt like a comedy. Yeah.
But if you're a foreigner and if you're going to a foreign country to work, why are you behaving in such a way that you're like disrespecting, that host country? You shouldn't be doing that. So in a way, I felt bad for the Thai ladyboys because they're in their own country and they're being attacked and abused by 20 or more Filipino ladyboys. Were
Oh,
they
yeah, and-
expelled? Were they arrested?
The issue was that in Thailand, you cannot really work. Obviously, it's like I think it's other countries too. Like you cannot really work as a sex worker or like prostitute,
Right.
because
Yeah.
that's illegal. Like prostitution is illegal in Thailand. And I think she was on a tourist visa, which automatically cannot work technically. So she
Okay.
was doing like 2 like crime back to back, and like she assaulted a Thai transgender woman who was just being innocent. She was just like standing in a place which
Yeah.
apparently had some kind of like mafia with like a Philippine transgender community. And funny thing is, I was actually in that place like 2 days ago before this incident happened. So I was like, this is crazy. But I definitely am in the Thai people's side in this one because they should not have attacked her, like 2 of them. I think it was 20 versus 2, which is it's like bullying. You're in a different country, you should respect the host country. Once again, you're not the local person. So like be a bit more respectful of the host country that is giving you shelter, place to stay, and even job
Exactly.
opportunities. Even though technically you should not be doing that because prostitution is illegal in Thailand. So I think she was kind of doing like 3 crimes, one after another, and yeah. And
I mean, everything is illegal unless you pay.
Unless you
That's
pay.
all I'm gonna say.
Karan say.
We get it.
That's
We
the
get
same.
it.
That's the same thing in Latin America. Everything's illegal unless you pay people.
He looks dumb about Mr. World Philippines. Yeah, he does look dumb. Mr. Philippines did make some hot videos.
I mean,
Okay.
he's cute. Guys, like in male pageant, it's not really about the brains, is it? It's mostly about like the, what you
looks,
see.
The
Usually,
look, the
yeah.
physique, yeah. He should clap. He's so irritating. Ed, you have a new fan. I need Ed's number. He is so charming, soft-spoken, and very gentle. Ed, come to my life.
That's like my pageant personality. I don't think he would like the real one.
I'm glad none of you have mentioned Antonio. Are you guys not missing Antonio, the unofficial Mr. Critical Beauty?
Actually, they
tonight-
did mention it. They said that they want Ed and Antonio to get married.
Doesn't Anthony have a boyfriend?
Antonio has a
Husband.
boyfriend.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Antonio's a boyfriend.
I think he's married.
No,
he has
no, they're dating. He was married, but he got divorced. His previous man. But now he's
Rafa,
dating.
they want you to invite Luis for your
Where did you see that?
chats.
Oh, Rafa, why don't you invite Rena Hendricks? I reached out, Rena, I invited Rena last year with Brian, and then Luis appeared in one of my group chats. But you know what? Luis has gotten so big. He has like what, almost 300,000 followers and is doing his own thing now. So Luis Porteles. Yeah, he was in India to cover Miss World. He has gotten so big that it's so hard to
Wasn't he?
invite him. Yeah,
Did he get big
he moved to the
after-
Philippines. He moved to the Philippines from Canada. He moved there, and then of course we all know he competed in Mr. Supranational representing Canada last year. But he's gotten so big, and it's so hard. You know, I mean, I'm glad that he's being, you know, he's doing a lot of great things. He's very successful in what he does. He loves pageants, just like everybody else. So Rena, I tried reaching out to her about a few months ago, but she was just too busy. And people are suggesting, why did you invite this person, invite that? Okay, well, let me know. Show me links to their YouTube channel, and I'll watch their videos. If I find them interesting, something to say, then I'll be more than happy to host them into my channel. The order of announcement of the 27 remaining finalists in the top 40 and also the top 12 and top 8 announcement was so predictable. They were announced alphabetically, not in a round. Yeah, I didn't like that. I would have preferred if they had announced the top 40 in random order, not in alphabetical order. I hate that. Miss World does that a lot. Alphabetical order.
That's
They
lovely.
do it.
Even in the olden
They
days.
do it. They do it that way, so it's easier for us to know that your girl didn't place.
True. Okay. So
I have 45 minutes left.
okay, performance by Tony and Neha Kakkar. They performed Jai Ho, a very popular Indian song with all the girls, you know, put your hands up in the air with the dancers and whatnot, you know. I thought it was really cute. Followed by the announcement of top 8, Brazil, TNT, Botswana, Uganda, Czech Republic, India, England, Lebanon, followed by the questions for the top 8 based on the G20 conference. So what did you think of these questions that were asked, the top 2 for each continent? Like Brazil and TNT were asked this question: what is the most pressing issue that working women face and why? I thought Brazil response was better than TNT. Okay. I mean, I love TNT. I think we love all the girls in the
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah, I mean, they were all any one of them could have become a great Miss World. But I thought Brazil's response was great because she come very prepared, and she knew exactly what she was talking about. Now, between Botswana and Uganda, the question was, if you can convince people to adopt a green practice, what would it be and why? I think Botswana mentioned agriculture, I believe. Yeah, she mentioned forest of agriculture. Uganda started out with planting trees, but then she segues into something else, which sort of like disconnected. Yeah, it was like ruptured. It was fragmented. Her response was fragmented. So I didn't like it at all. Now, between Czech Republic and England, if you could shed light on an issue concerning women's healthcare, what would it be and why? So, of course, Czech mentioned the issue of menstruation, which is still a taboo for a lot of women around the world. England says Huh? What?
I was actually
did you write her answer? Did you compose her answer?
No. But she was actually working with JB on preparing possible answers. You know, I mentioned some, but like she was working with JB from Philippines. So again, kudos to JB. But yeah, I was like, when she said the word menstruation, I was like, wow, she got guts, because the word itself, you know, like it's like people shock, and that's exactly the problem, because people don't want to talk about it. In the countries like India, the women don't get a proper hygiene care, proper hygiene education. And it was very intelligent, smart answer, because if you don't know, Manushi has a charitable work focusing on the women's hygiene and menstruation, and so does Harna Sunday. So that was very, very smart to go there. So I commend her for that.
Okay, good. England, I believe she mentioned something about lack of, the stigma of being a female
Yes.
I think lack of compassion and whatnot. Now, India and Lebanon, the question was, can you suggest a way that women can be empowered through social media? India's answer was kind of generic, I thought, whereas Lebanon's was more specific because Lebanon mentioned the word authentic. Now, we need to
I felt
normalize
like Lebanon's answer had
authenticity.
much more like heart into it. I feel like she was having more compassion, having empathy towards the woman. I don't know if it's because of her lifestyle, because we know that she is, she's an Arab woman, right? And unfortunately, in that part of the world, women don't really have the same rights as other parts, like in the Western countries. I don't know if because of that, because I can really tell it was a heartfelt message, and she was there to inspire women especially from the Arab world, that you could be confident, independent, and be yourself without feeling that you have to be like a second-class citizen. So for me, I personally felt Lebanon had such a strong answer. So after I listened to that, I was thinking India will be in top 4, but after I heard Lebanon's answer, I was like, wow, I didn't see that coming. She was great. Yeah, Lebanon
I
was
like,
amazing.
Wasn't surprised.
I like Lebanon's response because when she said the word authentic, that's what social media should be about anyway. Because when we have
Absolutely.
social media, why we only post the good pictures, the good image of us.
Yes.
I would love to
Yeah.
see more authenticity in the sense that, what are you eating? I want to see models without makeup, with hair undone, getting out of bed. To me, that's authentic. Okay. So
Yeah.
I prefer Lebanon's answer. Now, let me see. Who didn't some of the pageant? Why did Rafa? You should have invited the pageant gurus. Yeah, I reached out to the pageant gurus, but they were doing their own thing. They were so shocked when Czech Republic won. I watched their live reaction. Okay, I'm gonna watch the
Talk in a
reaction
good way,
video
hopefully.
too. What?
Hopefully, surprise, like a good shock. Wow, she's amazing.
Yeah. All right. So moving on, Julia Morley comes up on stage to present the humanitarian award to Nita Ambani. I did some research about Nita. She's an Indian philanthropist and businesswoman and founder of the Reliance Foundation. Her family fortune is estimated in excess of 107.8 billion US dollars. She needs to be my best friend. Nita, hi. I love you. You're pretty. You're so beautiful.
You see, now that you don't have Princess Amira, now you want Nita.
I know. Yeah, let's talk about Princess Amira. What happened to Princess Amira? Princess Amira, what happened to you? Are you and Kun Ann still besties? What happened? All right. Now, she also is the owner of the Indian Premier League cricket team called Mumbai Indians. Her work is inspired by the Indian principles of truth, goodness, and beauty. Nice. All right. I think I'm gonna follow her on Instagram. This is followed by, okay, Karan. Oh, remember that episode where Nita was ready to leave the stage, but Karen stopped her. Oh, wait, we forgot something. We have a message for you and Auntie Julia. And then they showed a video of Priyanka Chopra sending this message, this beautiful, long message. Where was she? Was she in Mauritius? Because the background was it's like
It looks like somewhere in like an
it's like a
island.
beach setting or something.
Yeah, it's a beach. So in the
Is it
beach.
beach? Okay. All right. So I thought, that was really cool. Of course, you can tell, did you really sense that Priyanka's speech was sincere, was authentic? Obviously, it was scripted, right? It was scripted.
I mean, at least the one message I got from her, the video, was that she's living her best life. Like she's married to one of the most successful American artists in the
Nick
world.
Jonas.
Yeah, and he is like such an eye candy. And except that, like she's living her best life in the US. So I think that's the message I got.
I think they got married not because they're in love. I think they got married because of business relationship, pure business. She wanted yeah, she wants to be really huge in America,
Nah,
and I think she got
disagree.
that
It looks
one.
like they're in love.
Who's British?
Anyway, so on this video, Priyanka says that being Miss World is not just about looking good, but also making a purpose out of beauty, which is Julia Morley's concept. So she admires Nita's passion and commitment for educational and charitable causes and promoting Indian art and culture. Yeah, because Nita herself is a big collector of Indian art. So I'm glad that she's a big patron of preserving Indian culture. Great. Now, this segment was followed by the announcement of the Continental Queens. Okay, now during the live telecast, they crowned 4 continents, 4 winners for each continent. Miss World Americas and Caribbean, which went to Trinidad and Tobago. Miss World Africa, which went to Botswana. Miss World Europe to Czech Republic. Miss World Asia and Oceania to Lebanon. But after the telecast, they changed all that. Miss
Yeah, they
World,
added crowns.
Miss Czech Republic was dethroned as Miss World Europe. She was dethroned. Scandal. She was dethroned as Miss World Europe, and they gave the crown to Miss England instead. Okay. Now, Miss Trinidad and Tobago, her title was sliced. Instead of Miss World Americas and Caribbean, she's now just Miss World Caribbean. Brazil was crowned Miss World Americas. Okay. Lebanon's title was also spliced. She used to have Miss World Asia and Oceania, but Oceania was cut off and it was given to cheeky, sunny Miss Australia. So you have 6 continental queens right there, okay?
You know, one
So
thing
I
about the
thought-
continental thing, the continental queens, is that I really don't like how they give the sash after the pageant finishes. I wish they just gave the sash and the tiny crown during the pageant itself, because it felt like, what's the purpose of giving them at the after party? We don't even know who won, like, unless you got on social media. I think it would be so much better if they do it during the telecast when it's happening live. That's
Okay,
what I was.
cool. Shyam says Priyanka was so fake. She was vacationing in the Caribbean. Oh, okay, but she got pressured to doing the video because her mother, Madhu, was invited to the Beauty with a Project gala. Oh, okay. That's interesting to know. Arami says, I'm not a fan of continental queens whatsoever. You know what? I'm not a big fan of the continental format myself. Okay.
Same.
I really don't. Yeah, it's sad because like Africa and Asia, you have Africa, you have like 5 amazing contestants. Asia, you have like 4 or 5 amazing contestants, but you only got to pick 2 out of per continent. I mean, that's not fair,
And
I mean, I'm
Actually,
glad.
that's a way to have representation from, like, you're not gonna have a top 5 with 5 Latinas in Miss World. And they've been doing it forever. I mean, it's like, for example, if you follow Miss World, if you like Miss World, you just learn to accept this because
Yeah.
it's their format, and that's what makes them unique. You see?
yeah.
And a lot of
I was
people might
gonna
not
say-
like that because of that. I think it is fair because you're ensuring representation from all of the continents as opposed to
I think
other
continental
pageants.
queens is okay until maybe like top 12, but I think for like the top 5 or top 4, I think it should be the best of the best. Because sometimes
agree.
I feel that
Totally
the
agree.
best contestant doesn't really make it that far. Especially, again, maybe because I'm being biased because I had Turkey as my winner. I thought Turkey deserved to be in top 12 instead of Australia.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
gonna say
actually,
that.
it changes every year. Remember in 2019, I think we had in the top 5, it was, who was in the top 5? France, India, Brazil, Nigeria, and Jamaica. So it was one of each continent?
It was one of each continent. Yeah.
Okay. In 2021, it was Mexico, Poland, USA.
India.
USA and Mexico were together in the top 6.
So all I'm saying is like I think it's good that it's diverse and all, but I think until like semifinals, I think they should do that. But like for the last round, the Q&A, they should give the best girl because I really wanted
agree.
England to be because she was such a lovely, soft-spoken, she had great advocacy, but because they could only be one European, they only had Czech Republic. And also like Turkey, I thought she should have been in the finals, but she was
That was
taken
a
out.
big
I don't know
shocker.
why.
That was a big
Top
shocker for
12.
me. Yeah. I mean,
So, like, I
George,
was
George, you and I picked Turkey as our winner.
As the winner, exactly. And she didn't make the
So I was
top
like
12.
devastated when she didn't make the
Oh my
top
God.
12.
I
Like I
haven't
was
seen
wondering,
top 12.
I was wondering about like Somalia. Why the hell? What was Somalia doing there? Was she picked by Julia because the girl is a Muslim and she's wearing a hijab representation? Like Somalia made the top 40 last year too. I mean, well, when during Karina's year. Also, like New Zealand. How did New Zealand make the top 40? She was crowned 2 weeks before she went to India. Like, how much preparation did she have? How the hell did she make top 40? New Zealand, okay? Also, like Italy. What was Italy
But
doing
Turkey
there?
was the best as well.
that's what I was saying. Like, I am not one to question displacements. We didn't see the interviews, and a lot of things
Yeah.
could have happened there.
Okay, fair. All right, moving
Yeah.
on. Moving on. Moving on. Okay, so after the Continental Queens, the top four had to pitch to the Shark Tank India judges, comprising of Namita Tapar, Anupam Mittal, and Ritesh Agarwal. Ritesh Agarwal is the youngest billionaire at 30 years of age. He is worth $2.1 billion. Okay, he and I should be best friends, okay? All right, so yeah. What do you think of the Shark Tank India segment? Was
Can I give
was
you
it necessary?
I'm good. I think it was cool.
It was cool.
Yeah, it
Do
was
you know-
very interesting, something innovative. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say like a fun fact about Shark Tank is that in Kunan used to be a part of Shark Tank Thailand before she owned the Miss Universe franchise. So I thought it was quite interesting. When I heard like Shark Tank, I was just thinking of Kunan. Yeah.
Interesting.
Nice.
How
I
come
like it, Rafa. I like it because I think this is the first time that instead of giving a speech or a discourse or whatever they call it, a pitch,
a pitch?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
you're gonna pitch to the
It's a lot
judges
of
why you
business-
should be the
business,
next Miss
yeah.
World.
Mhm.
And for me, that was innovative, you know, and then the girls kind of like screwed up their pitch, but but it was an interesting segment.
Right. I thought, you know, Czech Republic had the best delivery because she was very calm.
Yeah.
She wasn't too emotional like let's say Lebanon. Okay, Lebanon hit me too because she said, I think when she said not even the biggest nuclear explosion can stop us from dreaming and achieving. I thought that really cut my heart. I thought, wow, okay, wow,
It was
Lebanon.
very touching.
It was
Like, very
very
emotional.
touching, very
I
touching.
can tell that when Miss Lebanon was speaking, even during the head-to-head challenge, she was very expressive, very compassionate, and have empathy. So maybe that's just the way she is, because I noticed that instantly throughout the Miss World competition is that when she speaks from the heart. And I think that is really important, which I could not really say about, let's say, Miss Botswana. I think Miss Botswana was saying all the right things, but the delivery and the message for me was like lacking a lot. It felt like she was really trying too hard to please the judges, and I think that came across for me as like forceful. But instead, in terms of Miss Lebanon, Miss Czech Republic, they were a lot more effortless in the way they were speaking. Even though they were talking a lot about the charity work they were doing, like Czech Republic was talking about the beauty of the purpose and how important it is to provide quality education in places like Tanzania, in Africa. And the way she was speaking, it was very heartfelt. So I think that's the message I want to tell the girls is that this is Miss World. This is not a speech competition. This is not Miss Universe. You don't have to be super like, you know, kind of forceful and like kind of throw yourself out. Because for me, it came across a bit too much, like try too hard. So for me, I was like really turned off by Botswana's answer. Sorry.
I agree. I agree. I love her. So please, fans from Botswana, don't stone me. But it did felt so forced on me. I felt like she is forcing herself on everyone, like me, like I have to. But she's amazing, incredible woman. I love her. For Miss Lebanon, I just wish she used the opportunity to say something, to stand up for the people of her mother. Because right now, what is happening, it's absolutely atrocious. Her mom is from Palestine. I wish that she would say something, a little call out for the world leaders to stand up for the ceasefire, to stop killing children and women in Gaza. Sorry, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but I think that was an important issue. She missed out an opportunity. And I think that would touch the judges, that would touch Julia way more than what she said. But in the end, Czech Republic, and again, I might be biased, but if you notice, all of the girls were talking about themselves, why I should win. Yeah. Czech Republic was the only one who said, this is something I've been doing for a long time and I will continue doing it if I win or not win the crown. That was the most selfless answer out there. And that is why she won, because they don't want a girls to be like me. I do. They want the girls who are like, I do this for others.
Yeah. And I think Julia doesn't really like a girl who's a bit too like independent and like too much like, you know, in your face. I hope I'm not coming across too like honest today, but like I find like sometimes contestants go to Miss World and they don't really do research about the pageant, and they think like, oh, this is going to be like Miss USA or like Miss Universe, and maybe that's what they're used to. And, that's fine if you're going to those pageants, but Miss World is completely different. It's really about being humble, having empathy, giving back, and being compassionate. So unless you really do your research properly, I think it's really difficult pageant to win. So that's why people say like Miss World is so unpredictable. It's because you don't really do background research about the pageant. It's not about like forcing yourself, like saying, oh, this is my resume. I've gone to the best of the universities, best education, best project. Pick me, pick me. It for me that is like, I'm sorry to say this, but like it turns me off when I hear a girl who like is giving me all the like resume and all the things I should hear, but she's not speaking from her heart. And I'm not really building that connection with you as an audience. And for me, only 2 of the contestants actually did that when I was listening to the top 4. And that was Czech Republic and Lebanon.
And they end up in the first 2
And
spots.
they ended up being the top 2, correct? Yeah.
And in the case of Botswana, that a lot of people are talking, I didn't feel it forced. I think that she had prepared what she wanted to say, but when she had to deliver, she got nervous because at the beginning of her pitch, she started sounding kind of cocky, like me, myself, and my intelligence. And then it's like, I better fix it. And then she's talking about how she's an attorney and everything. But the beginning of the pitch, I think it was kind of like what sealed her fate. I think that she had the idea, but she just couldn't. The same Trinidad and Tobago got really nervous. She's like,
oh yeah,
like what am I doing here? Really nervous. Lebanon, like I said in the other live, I admire this girl for taking a stance. She took a stance the moment she arrived in India. She spoke really strong for her people, even though, we know Lebanon is not exactly the most radical of the Islam countries or whatever. She got the opportunity. Like Lenka said, I wish she could have addressed this issue, but there were so many political implications that probably if she was to, the producer would have said no.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, not only that, but remember, India is very pro-Israel. So if she had made that statement, defending Palestinians, that it would have like created a tremendous backlash. Not only against her. So, you have to think about these things too, as well.
I know you are correct. India has supplied the drones to Israel. So I know it's a little bit dangerous, but you know me, I'm a crazy person.
You are
crazy.
I
always say out loud whatever is happening.
You are the craziest person in this panel.
Yeah, but I just say like when people are dying and people are suffering and so on, I like throw away what people are gonna say about me if people are gonna go and eat me alive on social media. Because if I stand quiet for the horrible things that are happening in the world, I feel like I'm compliant. So maybe I'm crazy.
So that's why it's necessary that Trump wins the US presidency, because as you know, he never started wars like this old man sitting in the White House right now. He has started so many wars. When Trump was president, he never started wars. Okay. Thank God for the Abraham Accords, that Israel was able to establish relationships with Morocco, Bahrain, United Arab Emirates, okay, Egypt, and all the other Arab countries. Okay. Think about that. But no, we want a stupid old man sitting in the White House. Who can't even remember his wife's name.
I don't want either of them. I know Joe is supplying the guns. It's $14 billion.
Well, too bad.
Going there.
It's just between the two of them. It's just between the two of them now.
Well, I would wish the Democrats would go and smarten up.
You always pick the lesser of two evils.
If I had the American passport, because I had a green card and I refused the American passport and moved to Asia, if I still had the American passport, I would vote uncommitted, because I would want Joe to finally step up and do the right thing. So if you're American, if you're watching, vote uncommitted. I know I'm gonna get eaten alive. I don't care.
It's too late for that. It's past his bedtime.
I don't care.
One funny thing, Rafa, is that I saw a lot of the comments like telling Lebanon, like, "Oh, Jasmina, you should go to Miss Universe," and I'm like,
she was.
Because I mean, I still, again, I will say it again, I can't believe how overlooked she was there. It must have been on purpose.
I don't think Miss Universe really likes like a Muslim or like Arabic contestants. I don't know if it's just me noticing it, but year after year, like they kind of continue to unplace them. I know Bangladesh placed, No, let's say Pakistan placed this year, right? But that's not really Arab. It's not an Arab country.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No. So is Iran. Iran is not an Arab country. A lot of people mistake Iran as an Arab country. No, it's Persian. All right. Comment. Okay. Well, yeah. Cheyenne noticed, please note, Trinidad and Tobago went first to speak. Other girls had enough time to respond. Yeah. Another thing that I hated was that the girls who spoke later had more time to think, to formulate the answers in their mind. So maybe that's how they fared better, in terms of responding. So yeah, I wish they would have put like the headphone or the headset or whatever, so stupid. Anyway, let's move on. Oh, when one of the Shark Tank judges, Namita, asked if they could ask a question to all the girls, Megan says, no, we just want to pick a winner. Can you guys do that right away?
I thought I was the only who noticed that. Like, I think they should have done at least a couple of questions because that would be much more interactive and it would be much more fun to see as an audience. Yeah, but it was a missed opportunity because if you watch the show, like in a Shark Tank, it's all about business venture, like in pitching your idea. And I really like when the judges kind of like gruel the people who come to get a business venture. I'm not saying they should gruel the contestant, but like ask some questions back to talk about the beauty of the purpose and have a little bit of a interaction. I think that'd be much more fun than
right.
Okay,
exactly.
That's the next girl. Yeah.
So Julia, okay, so this is followed by a video montage showing Carolina's reign for the last 10 years. Okay, so 10 years. It was a very long reign.
Go for 2 minutes.
Okay, so she does her final walk wearing this beautiful, what color was it gown? Was it green? Yeah, a strapless green gown with with a cute little mermaid cut, which I thought was very sexy. And I think she looked much more beautiful now than when she was crowned 10 years
I think that's because they had the Vietnamese team with her. Do you remember there's like a gay couple from Vietnam who do the hair and makeup every time?
Yes. Oh yeah, they went to India too.
Yeah, they traveled to Mumbai for it. But I would say, Rafa, I think you might disagree with me, but I actually really didn't like the gown that much. I thought she looked much better when she was in the Miss World Vietnam. She wore like a Elsa styled outfit. It was like a blue, like sky blue on the top, and it like had gradients and it went like a deeper, rich, like a royal blue color. She looked like Elsa, and I was like, I wanted to see that look, like a recreation of that look. And she came out in a green outfit, and I thought, it's not really like complimenting the crown, but like, she's pretty. Yeah, the hair and makeup was pretty, but the gown, I was like, no, it's not matching the pageant.
Wow. Yes. Oh my God.
The cool thing about Carolina is that she did her own reels. She did her own social media. No one was taking care of it.
No
one
was all helping herself. Her? She didn't have any assistant?
It was her. It was all her, and that's great because the quality of her content, was amazing. But like George said, her best appearance was in Vietnam that year, and her best reel was during those events, like when she does the close up with the crown and everything. Like that's the most beautiful she looked. She's always beautiful, but she looked just mesmerizing that day. So no, but I agree that she looked great. Handling of the crown to her sister.
Did Czech Republic study business? I like her pitch. Very businessy presentation. Did she?
She is studying the law and what else? But I know she has been practicing possible answers with JV again from Philippines. But I also forgot to mention one name, one person who was coaching her as well, our amazing Miss Universe 2005, Natalie Glebova as well. I forgot to give her the credit as well. It's her second world winner after Isabella. So this is why I send girls I love and I work with to Natalie, because I know Natalie knows what to do and what to teach them. So
speaking of Natalie Glebova, I sent her a message via Instagram requesting to interview her, and she gave me a simple answer. She said, "Hi Rafa, thank you for the invitation, but I no longer do interviews related with pageants because I have a new life now, and I want to focus on my spirituality and my business." That's what she said. So she cut herself off completely from the pageant industry. So
Well, I mean,
So-
she first of all, she's going through a tough situation in a family matter. I don't know if it's yet. I don't want to go there. I don't know if it's yet out there, but she is going through something really tough right now. So I think that might be a reason why she doesn't want to like be out there in the world, and
Mhm.
why she is focusing right now on the spirituality, because I think that, you know, there's a lot of healing to be done and a lot of work to be done to move on, you know, to her next phase of her life. But I know she's always there to support and help the well-deserving girls like Krystyna. Like she's always open to that. So she has an
Yeah.
amazing heart. I love her to death.
I was reading the Miss World website, Christiana's profile. It says she has double degrees studying both law and business administration.
Yes, I mentioned. I remember that. She said,
Yeah, that's right.
"No, this girl is. She's brainy. She's very smart. Definitely,
Yeah.
very, very brainy."
And
Okay.
people wonder why she won.
Have you noticed Philippines is always in the Miss World video package from the beginning to Julia Morley's presenting honorary award to the final walk of the reigning queen? Didn't notice. Applause to Rafa of Critical Beauty, the most reliable, incredibly credible, plus the fact so unapologetic. Well, thank you, Leila. Thank you, darling Leila. Be in Spain. Muchísimas gracias, mi amor, Leila. Encantado de conocerte. Shyam Gurang. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Gwen, Philippines, and Thailand clapped because of their poor closed-door interviews by the Indian-dominated judges. Oh, maybe. We don't know. We don't know what happened. Okay, there's so many things that we don't know that happened behind closed doors and stuff. So just leave it to your imagination, people. Moving on. Okay, so Julia announces the first runner-up, Lebanon. Well-deserving.
Disappointed though. I think her face, you could tell she
She was
was
disappointed.
not happy.
Yeah, she was not happy. She was not happy. But
She wants a clap.
this is Lebanon's best placement in Miss World.
Yeah. And she went to Miss
First time.
Universe and she didn't place. This
She
is
didn't
amazing
place.
achievement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she waited 2 years. She returned, and then and she's still young. She's at 21. You know how many 21-year-old
Ah.
can become first runner-up in this world.
You know what? Can I actually say something? I just see a comment. Czech Republic winning Miss World, but still struggling to place at Miss Top 5 and Miss Universe. I tell you why. Because
Why?
Miss Universe license in Czech Republic is held by Česká Miss Essence, who is picking girls who look like fashion models for Paris fashion with sunken cheeks, with zero size body, who don't know how to behave. They don't nurture them, who they don't teach them. They are bad organization. I don't say they are bad people, but they know nothing about how to pick appropriate winners. While the license for Miss World, Miss Grand International, Miss International, and Miss Intercontinental and Supranational is owned by Miss Czech Republic, Tatiana Makarenko, who herself competed at Supra and at Grand, so she has tons of experiences from beauty pageants. She has been working hard for 10 years to build up this organization, and she is sending incredible girls who are getting in the tops for the past couple of years, if you have noticed. So please, Miss Universe organization, if anybody's watching, smarten up, stop giving that license to a horrible organization and give it to Tatiana.
Well,
Sorry.
she has to bid. She has to bid more money though.
She bid, but she got the letter back last year that they didn't pick her, no reason behind it. But I do remember that Kun Ann said something that she doesn't want organization that is holding other licenses. So I assume that holding grant license might be the problem.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Interesting concept. All right. So Lebanon is first runner-up. Carolina crowns, puts this cute little tiara on her cute little head. Okay. And then Lebanon goes around the throne, whatever. She positions herself on the left-hand side of the throne. Then Julia announces Miss World 71st edition, Czech Republic. So Carolina crowns Krystyna as she sits on the throne. Her Miss World sash, is horribly placed. Okay. And we all saw the disaster. Okay. So so she gets up from the throne, she goes towards the girls in the back, and she and they all congratulate her. And I think Miss Estonia tried to fix her sash.
Yeah.
And then the
She
other
was her
three,
roommate.
oh, they were roommates. Okay, all right.
Mhm.
So she must be very ecstatic that Czech won. So the other three finalists joined, Krystyna in the center of the stage, and the rest of the girls came out
Krystyna.
from their G20, platforms and joined the rest of the gang. And they all started singing "One World, One Dream, One World," everything. I thought I was like very touching. They're all holding hands, But where were the children? I would have wanted to see like little children joining them on stage, like in the past. Like
Yeah,
have the
that-
little children,
and I think the song wasn't it mixed? It didn't sound like English. Like a couple of the lyrics, it sounded like Hindi, right? It was not
Maybe.
like English, the song. So
I
like
think Hector already went back to like stopping the streaming, so I missed it.
Okay. Because when they were singing, like I could hear some girls like not knowing the lyrics because it was in a like different language. I was like, just put it in English so we could understand.
Yeah.
But it was
Okay,
cute. I like
Brian is trolling this chat group. Says Brian, Rafa, stop idolizing Trump. Whatever. All right, moving on. So, okay, so that was it. So we saw the winner, gorgeous. We all agree that Czech Republic makes a wonderful Miss World, blah blah blah, etc. Let's talk about the post pageant reactions. Okay, let's talk about
Actually,
them.
I gotta go.
You have to go. All right.
So I just wanted to say one more last thing that I absolutely love.
Yeah, we're gonna
Krystyna,
wrap it
and
up. We have to go too.
to all of you who are criticizing her, you do not know her. I know her, and I can tell you this girl has been working tirelessly for years in her charity work. She is no person pretending for the points to do charity. She has been doing it for a long time. She's devoting her life to it. She's highly educated. She is absolutely incredible. Person who has the most incredible heart, who focuses people around, who always gives an attention and gratitude to everyone around her. She has been working for so long, and you don't even know what she has to overcome in order to get to Miss World. I mean, how many times she had a broken heart because she almost wasn't sent either. She's been working her ass off. And I remember when she went for Miss Czech Republic, people were like, do not join this year because the winner of Miss World, is the blonde one. If you're wasting your chances. And she was like, you know what? I like the challenge. I love to show the people, what is inside of me, and I'm going for it anyway. So this girl is a fighter. And to me, there is not more deserving girl. And I was disappointed by some girls I worked in the past. And I can say one thing: those who pretend to be good in order to get points and to get a crown, they do not succeed in the end. I am so happy that in the end, the girl who won is the one who really genuinely had a good heart. And that shows me there is still a goodness in the world. Thank you. That's it.
All right. We're going to wrap it up. Guys, thank you so much for joining this group chat. I think we pretty much covered the whole thing. And then Ed, thank you. Mr. Dominguez, thank you. Pageant Princess Georgie, thank you. Lenka, darling.
Oh, Rafa,
Love you.
didn't talk about the hair. Did you talk
What?
about the hair issue? The
What?
one behind the hair issue with
What about it?
Botswana? Did you
Uh-huh.
talk about
Yeah, this issue right there. This one.
another one? Yeah. You haven't talked
Yeah,
about
well,
it.
Megan Young apologized. Okay, and
I'm just
Botswana
gonna go back.
Okay, bye, girl. And then Botswana accepted her apology, pretty much. What did she say? She said, Batho Bame, I appreciate that you are all looking out for me, but it really doesn't make me feel good when you bring other people down in my name or for my sake. Please be kinder. Please love to Krystyna, to Megan, be kinder. That's too much, which I thought was very, very nice. It's sweet, I mean, it was all an innocent mistake in Megan Young's part. We all learned something about, Black culture, as far as superstition goes and customs
touch
goes and whatnot. In every culture, there's some sort of superstition in every culture. Okay.
I think it
So,
was quite unnecessary. Like I thought it was such a sweet gesture because you could tell she had some messy, like the fringe part, like this part was a bit messy, and she was just trying to to take care of it. I didn't think it was anything bad.
okay, so imagine this, okay? Imagine if there's like a bug crawling on Botswana's head and Megan sees it. Like, if you were Megan, what would you do? Would you tell Botswana, oh my God, there's a bug crawling in your head. Can I remove it? Or Can, or are you just gonna crush the poor bug on her head, or are you just gonna let it go? What would you do in Megan's situation?
If you're on live TV, you have to let it go.
You have to let it go. Yeah, people
Yeah.
like all these
On live
attention
TV,
and
yes.
everything. Yeah. Oh my God, there's a bug crawling in Botswana's head. Let it go.
Yeah, at least we learned something new. Yeah. So like don't touch her hair for the next year.
Yeah, but I think if I were Botswana, I would appreciate Megan's. I would think of it as an act of kindness, because
Yes,
I wouldn't be
thinking the same
embarrassed the
thing.
rest of the show showing that a strand of my hair is like
Yeah.
ruining my forehead. I don't want to look like that.
Yeah,
there was
it's similar to like when you go out, right, and you have like some girlfriends and some of them have like lipstick stuck on the teeth. Would you not just tell them beforehand like there's something like it looks
yeah,
messy?
exactly
As simple as that. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think it was anything bad that she did, because I saw the day after, and like my feed was full of people like kind of saying like, oh, Megan was being like this and this, and like she was kind of like hurting her chances of winning the Miss World crown. I don't think that was the reason she lost the crown. It's because they had a better contestant. And I think Megan was just being so sweet. So like just be kind to her, guys. Like Megan is such a sweetheart, right? Like she hasn't done anything bad. So I think she was, doing an amazing job. So like don't be hateful to her. I saw some like people being really negative towards Megan, which I thought was so unnecessary.
Oh, definitely. Question for Ed. Where do you think Miss Peru should go next year? International, Supra, or Universe? I don't see her in Miss Grand because Luciana already won Miss Grand.
Okay, I was surprised to learn that Lucia Arellanos, I was surprised to learn that she wasn't the actual Miss World Peru. I was surprised to learn that she was the
Really?
second runner-up, and they dethroned the winner. They never gave a clear reason for that. But I believe that she should go to Miss Universe. She's radiant enough. I think that if you have been in Miss World, because everybody who knows me, I have my own Grand Slam in my head. So you have Miss World, Miss Universe, and the rest are the same for me. So the rest are excellent productions, but the prestige is nowhere. I mean, Miss World and Miss Universe are the only pageants who actually end up in Reuters and Associated Press and CNN and have this recognition. So I think looking at this Miss Peru, if Jessica Newton allows her, because I don't know, or her daughter who's now running the pageant, coming from another system, is difficult, but I think that girl should go to Miss Universe, like in a snap, like next edition. She's ready, and she's ready to win that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, and also her personality. She's just so bubbly and vibrant.
Yeah,
exactly.
she's so
she's a queen. She's a queen.
Yeah.
Not world queen, probably the universe, rather.
Definitely the universe, or maybe international. Yeah.
Maybe it would be similar to Miss
Super.
Nicaragua, who was I think a top 40, right?
Yeah,
Miss
same is. Yeah, the same thing.
Same thing. Yeah.
Possible.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up. So people, thank you so much for watching and joining our group tonight. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Help this channel grow. Share, comment, like, say something nasty, evil, bad, whatever. Keep it going, keep the conversation going. Again, George, thank you so much. Ed, thank you so much. And we're gonna see each other in our WhatsApp group. Okay, we'll talk. So have a wonderful week, people.
Have a good day.
Muchísimas gracias. Thank you. Bye. Take care.